All right, we are officially live.
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 On fire.
THC on the YT.
Invading the nighttime radio waves once again.
Invading the NT.
Yeah. Invading the PM.
Invading the PM. THC on the YT. Invading the PM.
Oh, boy. At a certain point, we're going to have to come up with our own language.
Yeah, no, this is ridiculous. So anyways, we are live.
Yes.
Happy to be doing this again.
Yeah.
There should not be any surprise guests for me this evening, so I think we're good there. So I'm pretty excited about that. Makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I think the COVID cough is gone. You know,
good. That's good.
I cough now like maybe once a day instead of like multiple times a day.
Right.
I think I'm down like maybe once a day. I don't know if it's COVID. I'm just saying that. Don't want anybody panic. I have no idea. It could be allergy.
Yeah, I'll cough a couple times and I'll start getting worried.
Yeah, Mike rocking the new haircut. I scolded for fucking going out in public. No, I don't know if you did.
No, I did not go out in public. No, I just went to sleep one night, woke up the next day.
The haircut
it was cut. It was weird.
Yeah, the fucking haircut fairy, man.
Yeah, all you have to do is leave $5 under your pillow. It's a straight up reverse tooth fairy.
That is dope. I would love that.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So anyways, so no, we're live. But before we get into all the fun and all that fun jazz, we do need to tell you that we are brought to you tonight by Dr. Squatch.
Which way?
Yeah, I'm like, shit, which way's my camera going? So anyway, we're brought to you by Dr. Squatch. Dr. Squatch is an amazing soap company. It's all natural, 100% organic, none of the parabens, none of the chemicals, none of the crap that's going to make your balls, shrink.
Yikes.
It's great. It's not just for men. Obviously, they cater to men, but it's not just for men. It's for really anybody. They have excellent scents and things. Actually, I just had to change up my scent. So I just switched up my scent, man. They were out of the Bow Chicka Wow Wow.
Okay.
So I switched up my scent, and I was gonna go with Pine Tar because I think Sandman was the one that suggested that one. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, I found a different scent that I was like, ooh. So, real quick story. I don't know why, but anyway, my wife got me hooked on like the St. Ives facial wash, but it's coconut and coffee. Dude, it's amazing. It smells so good and like wakes me up in the morning. It's great. And it like as a scrub, so it gets all your crap off your face. It's great. Yeah, you gotta stay looking young, Of
course.
So while I was looking for Dr. Squatch, I found that they have a new scent called Cold Brew Infused.
Wow.
And it's coffee. It's cold, like an iced mocha coffee smell.
Wow.
So I ordered it. It'll be here shortly. I'm very, very excited by this.
Gotta get your review.
If you can't tell, I'm super duper excited. And then the other thing too that I wanted to mention about Dr. Squatch, something that they are actually doing is brand new. I just got an email about it. I ordered mine. I will show them when they get in to prove that I ordered mine. But Dr. Squatch is now hand sanitizer, right?
Ooh,
in the world that we're living in, people need hand sanitizer. Mm-hmm. You get 4 bottles of hand sanitizer. They're probably small, I don't know, but you get 4 bottles of hand sanitizer for $20. But the kicker to this is for every bundle of like 4 that you buy, they are donating sanitizer to another hospital that is in need.
Oh, nice.
So I did think that was pretty cool. I did want to back that up, especially my wife being in, working in a hospital and things like that. Right. I thought that was pretty cool of Dr. Squatch to do. So I did buy, the $20 4 bottles of hand sanitizer. So that way, they could donate to a hospital in need, which I thought was pretty cool. So
is it unscented or
it is unscented? Okay. No, they actually did say that due to the world that we're living in and due to everything else, they wanted to get the stuff out there. So therefore it is unscented.
Understandable.
Yeah. But but if you guys actually utilize our link that we post in all of our videos and things like that, you guys will actually be able to get free shipping on the life of your soap subscription with Dr. Squatch. So please be sure to check out our link. And they're the ones that are sponsoring this show right now. So any and all Dr. Squatch love is appreciated. Anyways, moving on to comics.
Yes.
Okay.
So there were a bunch of things we wanted to talk about last time we never got around to. But as a segue to the first topic, it's not because we forgot. It's because we got caught up with other comments.
So I know it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, we're not complaining at all. But I know one of the things you wanted to talk about last time was memory.
Yes. Okay. So for those of you guys that are also watching, guys, girls, ladies, men, that are all watching, non-binary, whatever it may be, all of it. I kind of want you guys to jump in on this. So first of all, as you guys know, we go through every single comment. We talk to everybody. So if you jump into this conversation, we're still going to go back to the beginning. We're still going to talk to you. So please don't panic. I know people, we're going to do that. So anyway,
it's a tough balance.
It is. So my question is, and I've asked you kind of this before, Mike, and your answer was fish oil. But I personally have a difficult time remembering what it is that I read. So, and I don't know if it's because, well, lately I haven't been reading as much, but before, I don't know if it's because I'm reading so much that my brain just can't handle it all. But the thing is that if I see something or I flip through it again, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this. I remember what happened. I just need something to jog it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when people ask me, oh, what did you think about Batman 87? I'm going to go, I know for a fact I read it, but I couldn't tell you what happened. I'd have to look at it again. So for those out there that maybe have better memories, first of all, does anybody have the same issue I have? And second of all, if you do, what is your method to try to remember what it is that you're reading?
I think the only method is read less.
Read less.
I think at a certain point, it's just you only have so much temporary memory, and your brain has to prioritize things. So I know exactly what you mean. Rereading Uncanny X-Force, I have these general ideas of what happens in these stories, and then I'll read and be like, oh, that's right, this happened at this time. I thought it happened later because my memory's messed up. So yeah. I mean, I'm totally there with you, but the thing that bothers me sometimes is literally I'll read, and I think it's just a matter of, again, quantity. I'm binging too much. I'll read 12 issues in a day, and I'll be like, well, I remember generally what happened in the overall story, but I don't really know if someone asked me what happened in the second issue. I don't know. I think this, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been struggling with that. I will say though that lately I've been reading, I shouldn't say a lot of, because I'm getting in a couple issues a day at this point because we've just been so busy at home. But I have been reading Descender, which is a book that has flown under my radar for at least the last 5 years, because that's when it was released. You had mentioned Descender. I heard some other people talking about it. I got the 2 deluxes. I got volume 1 and volume 2. I did read an issue digitally first just to make sure that it was something I was interested in. Started reading it. Descender is fantastic. And that is definitely a book that I do not have a problem with remembering what I'm reading. I'm actually retaining what I read in that one. I don't know if it's because I'm just only reading one book instead of multiple
back in a year.
But yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome, man. I'm glad, because I wasn't sure how you would feel about Dustin Nguyen's artwork.
I love it.
Okay, sweet.
I love it. I think it fits the title amazingly well. I absolutely adore his artwork. If it was on, say, a Batman title or something, I might be kind of I'm not feeling it. We had that discussion before, but with Descender, dude, it's great. I absolutely love it.
Nice.
It is so incredibly good. So we got a couple comments here real quick on the memory thing, and it looks like they have the same issue. So Robert J. Williams says, I have the same issue, but it means I'll enjoy it more when rereading.
Yes.
K Hall says, same here. I hate that I can't retain stuff I read for the art. Dude, I'm with you 100%. And Mike actually, either that dude lies a lot or he's really good at memorizing shit. Because I've asked him, I'm like, how do you remember all this shit? And he'll be like, oh, fish oil, man. Fish oil. But he's also a lot younger than me. So I don't know. Maybe it's age. It could be age.
I mean, there are certain things I just won't forget. But yeah, it gets tough, man. I remember general things, and usually that's the thing about making these videos, right? Whenever we make a regular video, I really want to make sure I've read that book recently, because I don't want to just talk out of my ass and be like, well, I know it's good because I read it at some point and I enjoyed the crap out of it back then, but that's all I'm going to tell you. It's good. You know, I want to make sure
Yeah.
that I'm able to express why.
So you're rereading all of these lately? I
Oh,
mean, well,
yeah,
probably
man.
lately you probably have all the time to. I mean, I know
Yeah,
you're still working from
yes.
home, but aside
The
from that,
quarantine helps. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's been a lot
yeah.
of rereading. Yeah,
I wish I could say that. I'd love to be reading right now. I
yeah.
have
But
so much stuff to
sometimes
read.
the sad thing will always be while I'm reading something, especially if I've enjoyed some of the new legal regulations that have been put in place in Canada. I'll know as I'm reading it, I'll have a conscious thought. I'll say, this is incredible right now, but I'm not going to remember most of this tomorrow. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride, but it's all going to be like, I'm going to forget why I enjoyed it so much, which, you know, as who was it, K Hall or Robert said, the reread will just be, you know, another breath of fresh air.
Yep.
It's fun.
L Denver, when I read, because I really want to get, and I don't remember as well when I read to just enjoy what I'm reading. I've been
Yeah.
there too. I've been there too. Because like, especially if I have like a giant backlog and I'm like, I just want to hurry up and get through all these. Like, not because I'm not enjoying them. It's just I have so much. So I would agree with that.
Yeah. Or when you're getting to like the end of an arc and you want to find out how it ends and you're like, okay, so whatever, I might like skip a couple words in this dialogue. I want to know what happens. What's gonna happen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Canadian Invincible age and most definitely fish oil.
There you go. Fish
I do
oil,
have some. I just forget to take it. Is that bad?
there you go. Well, you got you
Oh,
forgot to
there
get the
goes that
odorless
COVID.
one.
I know. Yeah, I did. I forgot to get the burpless one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife has the
Gee, man.
burpless fish oil, and she sent me to go buy more. And I wasn't paying attention at the store, and I just bought a thing of fish oil. It turns out it's the non-burpless fish oil. So my wife's like, "You can keep those ones. I'm not taking them." But then I forget to fucking take the fish oil.
Exactly. Also taking notes, but I guess if you're not making videos, it doesn't really make sense to make notes.
I actually have heard of a lot of people though that take notes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just to like refresh their memories or what, but I should start doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I've always thought about it is you're just taking that, you know, that knowledge or whatever it is in your brain and you're just putting it down physically into the real world. So, you know, it might help you make that connection in, you know, internally. I don't know.
Rosie's with me. When I was a teenager and only buying 4 to 5 books a month, I read those multiple times. Then I even remember every panel. Now when I read 4 to 5 at night, I forget details.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's just too much information to process. I'm starting to enjoy reading run slowly a book a night. This seems to help remember. I kind of started to do that a little bit. I'm doing that sort of with Descender right now. I think I'm on issue 10, something like that right now, and I've been reading about 3 days. So, but god damn, that book is good. If I had more time, I would be finished with the entire series. I just don't have time to read it.
You'd be on to Ascender by now.
Yeah. I was excited to hear there was more to it, and I'm only not even halfway through Descender.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they keep going, keep pushing it out. Jeff Lemire and Dustin keep doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, his stuff is really good. So kind of going back here just so we don't get too lost. Rosie, good evening. Hope all is well. Hey, what's up, Canadian?
Hey, everyone.
Let's talk comics. That is the plan, sir. K-Dog, digging the wallpaper.
Yes.
That's all Mike. I mean, we both love Valiant, but that's all Mike. Mike designed all that. He drew all that freehand.
I take 0. Yeah. All this afternoon, I sneezed and it all just came out.
ET SpiderMan 23. What's up, guys? How we doing today? Doing well, my man.
Pretty good.
I've used Dr. Squatch before, and I tried 9 of its scents. Pine Tar is the best. And hello, dudes watching from North Carolina. What's up, JHP?
Very cool. What's going on?
Are you no longer a subscriber? If not, you should use our link to get free shipping for the life of your subscription. Let's see. Descender. Amazing. Love the watercolors. Frosty. 559 California in the house.
What up? Represent. 905 over here.
Metal Slug DDS. Is the new Wolverine series any good?
Well, Matt reviewed the first issue.
I did, and it's damn good, son. No, it's actually really good. Unfortunately, with all the hiatus, we've got a little while yet, but it's good. I actually really enjoyed the new Wolverine series. It's tying in very, very well to that whole sort of universe that Hickman's helping to build.
And in case you want to know Metal Slug, you don't know anything about the new Wolverine series, it's going to be every issue is going to follow a different story. Well, not every issue, but every other issue. It's going to be 2 stories going alternative issues.
Number 1 starts off with it's an oversized issue, and it's basically 2 issues in one, right? So then issue 2 will be this one story arc, and then issue 3 will be the second story arc, issue 4 will be the first story arc, and kind of like that, like what they did on Wonder Woman Rebirth,
right,
where it's sort of alternating stories.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. It ties in well. I really, really, really enjoyed it, so I'm excited for it to continue.
Yeah.
Kenneth, what's up, man?
What's going on, sir?
Dustin Wen, met him at a con. Nice guy. Well, that's good to know.
I think he's doing one of the Jim Lee sketches soon. He jumped in on that.
Okay, speaking of Jim Lee, so I just listened to Fat Man Beyond today, and they had Jim Lee as a guest.
Wow.
It was all via Skype, obviously, due to COVID. But they were asking Jim Lee about this like 60 for 60 thing that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he sort of is regretting it.
Yeah, I'm
not
sure.
Just because he said he's not regretting doing the sketches because he loves doing sketches, but he said that he's kind of regretting putting as much detail into these sketches as he is.
He set the bar high.
Yeah, and then he says, and now I can't lower it.
Yeah,
because I have to continue to do it. He goes, and it's rough, and it's He goes, I'm having a hard time maintaining that. He did say one guy though. He said there's a collector in Texas that's bought like 5 or 6 of them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So
could be Joe Exotic.
No, he's in prison.
Well, whoever's holding his funds for now.
Yeah. No, he said that he bought like 5 or 6 of them though, and I was like, geez, that dude's a baller, because those were going for like $5 and on up.
A lot. Oh yeah, at least. I mean, he's averaging like 10K a day. It's insane.
Yeah. Apparently Jim Lee contacted Mark Bernardin and said, hey, like, I'll add you into like a background of one of the sketches or whatever that I'm doing. And Mark's like, yeah, no, that's great. Go for it. I want to say, I could be wrong on this. I think it was the Dead Man sketch, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But Mark Bernardin's like in the background of one of them, and he goes, oh, maybe I should bid on that. And like, that'd be cool to have. And then he saw the price point that it was going for, and he goes, nope, never mind.
Yeah,
goes, I know what I look like. It's all good.
Oh my God, this is crazy, man.
But cool, yeah, it was interesting. They did ask Jim about the DC distributor thing, and kind of so that was, I don't know, he had a good point. But then again, afterwards they brought on a comic book shop owner in California who owned a couple shops. Actually, one of them, Jeff Johns is a silent partner or co-partner or something like that in one of the shops.
Yeah.
And they were asking about him, and he kind of had a different take where he's like, well, I wish DC wasn't really doing this. So it was interesting to hear from the different sides.
Yeah, because I'm curious if a comic book shop owner's okay with not getting new content. I'm curious to know why. I should check that out.
Yeah, it was a good episode, man. It was like over 2 hours long. It was a good one.
Nice. Well, hopefully Kevin Smith gives our show a shout out.
Right.
After we gave him one.
I know, it's only fair. It's how it works in the podcast world, right?
Yeah.
Matt, do you really read more than one book at a time? Yes. The answer is yes.
Wait, people don't? No.
I think like right now I'm reading. So I read some stuff physically, obviously, but then I read some stuff digitally at night, like when I'm going to bed. So like right now I'm reading across the platforms. I'm reading like Descender, Hitman, Daredevil Volume 1 by Brubaker. And I think those are the 3 that I'm reading.
Sounds like
right
your
now.
platform.
And a little bit of Punisher War Journal from back in the late 80s. I'm enjoying that one too. That one's a slow burn for me though. I read like an issue here and there because that one's sort of, I like that slow burn for that one. But yeah, so that's currently what I'm reading. But I'm flying through Descender as fast as I can because I'm in Daredevil. I was flying through really fast too, but that one's physical, and so is Descender. I don't know. Yeah, I'm reading more than one at a time.
Yeah. You got to have that balance. I've always found having
same question for Mike.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Right now I'm reading Exo Manowar, Uncanny X-Force, and my little Aftershock anthology. the thing I've noticed is and The Filth by Grant Morrison. So the way I like to do it is there's like, I'll always choose one book that I know is a one issue a night book, like Tom Strong or, anything by Alan
I'm also
Moore.
reading Tom Strong. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Anything by like Alan Moore. Honestly, anything by Alan Moore is always like one a night. I can't do more than that because it's just such an overload. And then something fun, something a little brainless, like well, not that Exo Manowar's brainless, but it's it's an action adventure, space romp. And then Uncanny X-Force to get you really depressed and hating the rest of humanity. So you got to have that balance, right?
Yep.
That's psychopath balance.
It just depends on my mood. Like sometimes I'm
Right.
in the mood for space. Sometimes I'm in the mood for comedy. Sometimes I'm in the mood for violence. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know. It just sort of depends on my mood to dictate what I read, actually.
I've wanted to read something more fun lately, and I've thought about
Yeah.
I Hate Fairyland. I'm like, it'd be so cool to do.
Such a fun book.
Right. I'd be like, it'd be so fun to do an I Hate Fairyland video, but it doesn't feel right without having that second volume. And you currently have my second volume.
Yeah,
so I gotta wait for
I
that.
don't have a second volume. I've been debating on buying. Every time I go to place an order, I'm like, I should really grab volume 2. It's like $17. Why am I not grabbing it?
Scotty Young's probably going to be at Planet Comic Con.
I know.
You know.
He signed my first one.
Didn't you try getting your didn't you have your son mention something to him as well, trying to get some extra brownie points?
Not initially, no. That was all the very first time. That was all my son. So like when we were there, that was all my son. Right. He was 8 or 9 at the time. And Scotty had a bunch of like prints out on his table, and one of them was like of all the SpiderMan villains in a school bus with like all their arms and things hanging out the side. And my son like walked up to Scotty, like we're trying to get stuff signed, and my son walks up to him. I'm like, no, like stop, we're trying to get stuff signed. And my son's like, who's driving the bus? Scotty Young was cool as shit though. He was like, dude, I don't know. Like nobody has ever asked me that question before. He's like, I don't know. Who do you think? And I don't remember what my son said. Stan Lee, maybe. I don't remember
think so.
Said. And Scotty goes, yeah, man, it's Stan Lee. He's the one driving the bus. And then, but it set up a really cool moment for us though, because then Scotty like wanted to talk to us for a little bit because he was telling us about like how my son and that question reminded him of his kid, and he's like, dude, that is so funny, and like it actually set up a really cool moment. But
Scotty Young's a nice guy.
Sure. No, that was all my son though. That was nothing to do with me.
That's right.
Big Tom 63. You guys think I got good pickups? I just bought the Wolverine reprint, Kirby's Fourth World, and Green Lantern by Johns Volume 2. Yes, and yes.
I love that variety. That's great.
Dude, that is amazing stuff.
All great content.
I definitely think you did very, very well for yourself.
Oh yeah.
K-Dog, did you get the die cut cover? I'm assuming you're referring to Wolverine #1.
Yes.
And the answer to that is I have every cover. Thanks to Marvel. Thanks, Marvel. David Gabriel actually, prior to COVID, David Gabriel was actually sending us books every Monday and for review and whatnot. And when Wolverine 1 came out, he actually sent me every cover. So yes, I do have that die cut cover. It is spectacular. I thought it was like the coolest thing in the world when I opened it up. I was sending pictures to Mike. I was like, check this out.
Oh yeah.
So yes, I do have that one. It's pretty cool. Oh no, if I read more than one
oh come on, that bad. You'll get used to it.
Maybe that's why I have a hard time remembering things, because I'm trying to read too much.
Well, yeah, could be.
Sometimes I read 3 to 5 books at a time. I read Transmat, Sandman, and Black Science simultaneously.
That list, my God.
Yeah, that's a big list to be reading simultaneously.
And those are all heavy hit. Like, well, I could see reading multiple issues in a night, but Sandman is one of those books that I mentioned where it's like one a night, I'm done. It took me 30 minutes to read that one goddamn issue.
Sandman, I could do like 1 or 2 a night.
Sure. Depends on the story arc, because like at the start I could do 1 or 2 when he's messing around with like John Constantine. But once they're getting into like the super trippy stuff where each issue is like a standalone novel, almost it feels like it's like, oh my God, that was a lot. And then the next issue is such a huge jump. It's such a change of scenery. It's tough to just like flow from one into the other. You know what I mean?
Black Science, I think I flew through the first. I haven't read the second deluxe, but I think I flew through the first deluxe pretty quickly.
Third one's coming soon.
I remember when I read that one. Why I flew through pretty quickly. I think I read like all 60 whatever it was issues, 50, 60 issues. I think I read all of that like really, really quick. Transmat. I still haven't made my way all the way through it. That's another one. That's another one. It's a slow burn for me. So the first time, all right, dude, open the motor. So the first time I read Transmat or tried reading Transmat, I did not like it. I was super like excited for it, and I was like, "This is gonna be amazing." I've heard all these great things about it. Started reading it, and I go, "What the fuck?" Like, I could not get into it. Yeah. I don't know. Once again, though, sometimes it depends on my mood. I could not get into it. Set it down. Started reading it again maybe a year ago. So it was like a couple years later. And I got a good way through, not a good way through. I got a decent amount. I think I read like 12 or so issues. And I was enjoying it. But then I just sort of hit like this brick wall with it where I was like, I really want to pick up something else and read something else for a while. And then in that sort of just kept getting further and further back on the back burner. And I just never re-picked it back up. Does anybody ask another question? Does anybody else ever do that? Do you hit a brick wall of the book? Like, you're enjoying it for whatever reason. You hit a brick wall of the book. Maybe it's just, it's in depth and it just, it's a slow burn. You put it down and then you forget to pick it back up. Has that ever happened? I can't be the only one that's done that.
I know it used to happen to me a lot. It happened to me with like Walt Simonson's Thor. It was great. It's not bad. It just felt like the same thing over and over again, and I was just like, I need to take a break. I started reading something more modern. And then eventually it's just like, oh shit, I forgot. I remember picking up my Thor and there was like a bookmark in it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was like 3/4 of the way through this thing. Yeah, no, I definitely get that. And I think that's happening to me less now that I've become more picky. Yeah. Now that especially with rereading where I know it's something I'm going to enjoy more, I feel like it's happening a lot less. But with a new title, it could happen because you're taking that chance, right? Yeah. But for sure, that's a.
Oh, he also threw Fables in there.
Okay,
so that's another one. All right. So while Mike is doing his thing, Greg, what's up, man? I reread my comics so much I never have the time to forget. For example, I am presently rereading X-Men by Claremont and Lee Omnibus Volume 2. It's my 6th. Oh, geez. Nice, man. See, that's good, though. You appreciate your books. You're reading them multiple times. I think that's fantastic. Daniel Polanco. Yeah, I'm reading Batman by Snyder, Star Wars by Aaron, and Injustice Volume 1. Dude, that's awesome. Star Wars. However, if you've never read Darth Vader, your fucking character's your avatar, whatever you want to call it, is Darth Vader profile pic. I'm gonna assume you've read Darth Vader, but if you haven't, reading Star Wars and Darth Vader simultaneously is like the greatest thing I've ever done. Like, that was amazing. I remember reading those two like back like with each other, especially like when Vader Down and stuff came. I was like, this is the most impressive thing. God damn, that book was good. And Justice Volume 1, I read all of those when they were actually coming out as digital first. Yeah, remember those days, Mike?
I do remember those days.
And that was back when
years.
God, what was that game? Not Contest of Champions.
War of something. War of Heroes.
War of Heroes. Yeah, WOH. Marvel War of Heroes. That was back in the Marvel War of Heroes days.
Oh, that money sucking game.
Yes, I remember having to take shit breaks to go play the game real quick.
When it was that event time,
we had war or whatever going on.
It's no games, man. It's not a game anymore at that point. It's life.
And then once we'd finish up with war, I just sit there and read like 5 issues of Injustice.
Yeah,
that was great.
And that was one of the cool things I found out, and I told you as soon as I found out, was that some of the artists actually went back and redid their artwork for the physical print versions, which I didn't know about. Some of the digital artwork was rough, and apparently the artists were in a rush. I forget the specific one's name, and he went back and actually redid the artwork for the physical prints, which is dope.
I do want to get that omnibus.
Right. Volume 2 is coming this year, I think.
Yeah, that is an Omni that I do not have that I do want to get. It's just, if I remember right, that one had $150 price tag.
Yes.
Yeah, so therefore it's like $87.50 on IST, and that's a lot of money, especially when I could buy 2 books for that price. I'm just kind of like, I just can't pull the trigger yet. But Batman by Snyder. So for those that don't know, I've read the whole run when it was coming out, and I hated it. I kept reading it because I was a Batman fan, and I couldn't get into it. And everybody talks about how much they love Snyder. So now fast forward, what are we now, like 6 years, 7 years, 8 years from it ending, something like that?
From it ending? Yeah, I think
from ending, because it started in 2011. Would it ended in what, 2015, 2016?
Ran for about 5 years. That's right.
So we're about like what, 4 years out, 5 years out from it ending.
Yeah.
I do want to go back now that I have a little bit of a more refined palate. Me and Mike were actually talking about doing a group read. Maybe you guys would be interested in that. That'd be cool if we could get some of you guys on board with that too. We could all like read like week 1, read so many issues, and then we'll all discuss it as a group. Right. That could be fun. Is anybody, while we're talking about it, is anybody interested in doing that with us? That could be fun, because Mike loves that run by Snyder.
Yeah. Well,
and I want to reread it. I want to see if my opinions have changed.
I love it up until I remember disliking All-Star Batman a lot. Granted, it started with John Romita Jr., so maybe that was why, but we'll see. I'm going to reread it all.
It definitely was why. That definitely was why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm interested to know if anybody's interested in doing a Batman Snyder like reread or a first read or whatever with us. So like, we'll just like read the first 10 issues this week or whatever we do. I think that would be fun, especially if you guys want to jump in on it.
Yeah, that would definitely be fun. We'd have to do
comment a lot. This is awesome.
Let's do it. Let's run
L Denver. I typically have at least a manga, a prose novel, and a comic going at the same time.
Prose novel, damn. Good for you.
I remember those days when I would read those. Now it's all about comics. I need pictures.
My Corona sneeze.
Rosie, as much as I love physical content, I really love the digital content on Hoopla. I do use Hoopla. Oddly enough, I live like in the largest city in Nebraska, right? And oddly enough, they don't have Hoopla, or at least they didn't. But the next largest city does, so I had to use my mom's account in order to read Hoopla. But no, that's how I read a lot of books, actually. Hoopla's great. It's a really neat thing that they got going on.
You know what? While you're mentioning something not working in your goddamn town or city, DC Universe or whatever.
Oh yes, DC Universe.
It's not available in Canada. It's been 2 years.
Is Disney Plus available in Canada?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes, that is available. I think that was available day one, because I know friends that watched Mandalorian day one. So I mean, they did that at least. But you know, Marvel typically does things correctly in that sense. It's just weird. I just don't get it. I feel like they'd make a lot of money. But
well, there's been some discussion about DC Universe ending, and people are like, is that why everything's going to HBO and blah blah blah? But that's just rumors. I haven't heard of it ending. I hope it doesn't, because I read a lot of comics through that too. That's another good way to read.
Yeah. They should at least make it just strictly comics then, like the way Marvel has Unlimited.
Yeah, that could be cool. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to HBO. Especially DC, like Dark coming up and Watchmen, like those were HBO.
Yeah, if DC takes their shows and all that the TV media to HBO, by all means, I guess I don't think I would have a problem with that. I think that would mean a significant increase in quality. So I don't know if I'd have an issue with
Very
that.
Possible. Speaking of, have you watched Harley Quinn?
No.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
No.
Gowtham. What's up, Gowtham?
It is nighttime.
I have been meaning to get Gowtham Central Omnibus, but that book totally went out of print all of a sudden. Yeah, so here's the thing about that. That book has been out for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that just recently comic channels have started talking about it again. It's a great book. So I don't know. I mean, obviously they're not talking about like it's a brand new book. They're talking about it like, hey, I've read this probably 5 times now. It's a wonderful book. Everybody should read it. I think that's why though that it's gone out of print. Is because a lot of other large comic book channels have been talking about it, and there's people that are just discovering these things for the first time that are like, well, I'm gonna go out and buy this on your recommendation.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking that that's why, because that book has been in print for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to make some of these image hardcovers go out of print, but it's not working so far.
well, let me get some of them before you fucking do that. Have you guys ever read Crossed?
Yes.
Okay, my short end, I've read the first 3 or 4 issues as it was coming out. Like it was brand new on the comic shelf. A guy at the comic shop said, hey, you like fucked up stuff, read this. And sorry, I shouldn't curse. I don't know if there's children on here, but he said you should read this. And I did, and I immediately went and took a shower and scrubbed myself with an SOS Brillo pad because I felt like the dirtiest boy in the world after reading that book.
Yeah, and
like
I know exactly where it got you.
God,
when that family gets gang raped in the first issue.
Yes.
The 2-page spread. The 2-page spread.
Yes. I could not go on. My roommate at the time walked into our living room, and I'm laying on our couch and it's open and to that part, and he walks into our living room and he goes, what the fuck are you reading? And I was like, dude, I don't even know. Like, I'm ashamed to even show you this. So then out of curiosity, he started reading it, and he was the exact same way. He couldn't go on with it either. He had to stop. And so that's my story with it. Mike, I know you like it, so I'll let you do your thing.
No, it's intense. I mean, yeah, it takes things really far. I guess I'm just a little crazier than you are. I don't think you should feel bad. I think you should feel good that it made you want to stop. I think that's like a test that they'll use one day to tell future criminals apart.
Like Minority Report.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you liked Crossed, huh? All right, well, get into the line on the left, sir. Yeah, I thought it's interesting to see how I guess people deal with it. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't read too much of it. I think maybe a handful of issues as well.
Oh, really? I thought you had read a lot more.
No, I read some of the stuff that like Simon Spurrier did. I think that was like Crossed. That was something else. I think it was like a spin-off series. And then I read the Crossed plus 100 that Alan Moore wrote. I think he wrote like an arc of it, which was like 100 years in the future. And that was more interesting because it's like you're not seeing people get gang raped anymore. It's more about how things have changed over 100 years and what life is now. Like the language. The thing that turned me off of that was Alan Moore sort of made the language more caveman-ish. So it was like, oh, I walk store, get carrot, and it's like, why did you have to make it more complicated? Whatever, yeah, get carrot, yeah. But why did you have to make it more complicated for the reader? I get it, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Crossed is it's an experiment for sure.
Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll revisit it. If anybody can tell me that the rapiness goes away after a while, maybe I'll give it another shot. But
if you're opening with rape, I mean,
yeah, that was intense, man. And I'm not like, for those that are movie buffs, I had a really, really hard time watching A Clockwork Orange for the very same reasons. I can't watch that stuff. It makes my skin crawl. Like I cannot do it. And I love horror movies. I'm a huge horror movie person. I love gore. I love blood. I love guts. I love all that stuff. But when it comes to like rape scenes of any kind, it makes my skin crawl. I cannot do it.
Fair enough.
So if anybody can tell me that that's the only time that happens and it doesn't happen, I'll give it another shot. But those issues just turned me off.
Cock. Yeah.
I just recently finished reading Why the Last Man. That's not a bad series, man. I really enjoyed it, but it's definitely a one and done for me. And I'm now reading Chew. Given the outbreak, both those books seem like appropriate choices. Fair enough.
Not bad, yeah.
I've read a little bit. I know you're a big Chew fan.
I love Chew.
I've read a little bit of. Again, that's another book that I enjoyed for whatever reason, I can't remember because it's been a while since I've read it. It got put on the back burner, and I just never picked. There's just too much to read.
I promise you now, if you try reading Chew, you will not be able to stop. It's so good.
No, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy what I read. It was
So
good. Austin, what up, nerds? I've tried reading Transmat a couple times and can't finish it. Oh, I don't feel as bad then.
Losers.
What happened with Transmat for you happened with Planetary for me. For some reason, I just couldn't go through it. It would be on the 6th issue. Put it aside for now. From what I understand, and I'm kind of the same way with Planetary. I've tried reading it a few times and had a hard time getting into it.
Oh my god, man!
Here's the issue. Here's the issue, though. It's not that I wasn't enjoying it. I think it was just I was confused.
Right.
And from what I understand, if you read what is it wild? What is the
okay? So
this is what is it that you need to read to understand it?
So here's the thing with this. I mentioned this in my Injection video because Injection was another series by Warren Ellis. Warren Ellis has this problem where he drops you into a book. It feels like you're already in the middle of a movie.
See, that's why I got really confused.
That's the problem. And he does that with every book I've noticed. Transmetropolitan, you're talking about a journalist who's coming out of retirement, who's been in seclusion for so long, who has already dealt with all these headlines and all these things in the past, and you're getting involved with him now. Planetary, same thing. This guy's like coming out of retirement to come back into this sort of weird, super heroic stuff. It's a blessing and a curse.
So there's nothing like you need to pre-read. There's no universes you need to be aware of.
Okay,
I will give it another shot because that did happen when we Transmet. And then when I picked it up the second time, I actually enjoyed it a lot more.
Just go into it expecting any Warren Ellis comic you're starting, pretend you've already missed half the movie, and now he's going to catch you up on everything in his own way. It sucks. It's tough, but it's worth it in the end.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I will go back to it at a later stage sometime.
Fair enough.
That also happened with Harrow County. Now, that one I cannot agree with.
That's a page turner.
That one's a page turner. That one's, and it's a quick read to boot. Like, that one's a really quick read.
Classic Colin Bunn.
Yeah, no, that one was really good. I love that one.
Yeah.
I love horror. And couldn't get in County. Probably wasn't in the right headspace. I'll give it. Yeah, definitely give it another shot. That's a really, really good book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've literally been playing Contest of Champions every day for the last 4 years. I did play Contest of Champions for 2 years, and then when Marvel Strike Force came out, I jumped off ship of Contest of Champions and started playing Marvel Strike. And I still play Marvel Strike Force since the day of launch to this day. Every day I play Marvel Strike Force. That's mine. JT, what's up, my man? I'm going to be picking up the 4th Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus. That's cool. That's awesome. I know that you've been enjoying that early Silver Age-ish. I mean, now you're getting the 4. You're getting kind of out of that age now, but that's awesome, man. Glad to see that. Greg, I own the Vader Omnibus. You lucky bastard. I had it at one point, sold it like a long, long time ago, and now it's like a $200 book that I'll never own again unless they reprint it. I loved it. I never read the Star Wars series though. Is it worth getting? Yes, it is worth getting the Omnibus. I heard some arcs were great, while some were not. Honestly, I enjoyed the entire thing. Did you? I think it's like 37 issues.
Oh no, it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's worth getting. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Jason Aaron run is like 37 issues, and it's fantastic. I enjoyed it, and the art. Oh my god, the art throughout is so incredibly good. All right, we got some people saying they're down. So Andrew Nutt, he's down to do a Snyder read. Robert J. Williams is down to do a Snyder read. So K-Dog, he says comic book. I'm going to assume that's a yes. So we've got at least 3 so far.
Okay, we're going to have to organize somehow. I don't know. So I'll throw this out. I'll throw the bat signal out there. I don't know if you all have ever heard of a mobile application called Line, as in the thing you draw with a pencil, a line. If you guys are interested, we could start something up on there as like a little group chat.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Could be fun. It's sort of just a message. It's like WhatsApp or any of the Viber or whatever, whatever online Wi-Fi messaging app you've used. But it's great. You just, we've been using it for years. I mean, since way before we started this YouTube channel. So it's called Line, Line. It's a green app. And I guess we'll have to maybe do like a YouTube video or something on it just so people can connect with us.
Well, it'd be really fun is that when we go to do it, if we could set up a time where like everybody could jump on, like Andrew, Robert, K-Dog, whoever else was doing it. Because we could do a StreamYard and we could have up to like, I think it's like 100 guests or something. It's some ridiculous amount of people. Yeah. And we could do a StreamYard where we have a bunch of different people all doing this, and we could have like an actual conversation and do and like record it. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh, we should. All right. Well, if you guys are
totally down, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, we'll try and formalize this some way through YouTube, like that whole community thing, where you can make a post that's just text. We'll set it up through there. But if you're interested, get line now. Try looking for Tap. I don't know if you'll find Matt, but it's possible.
Hang on, I can tell you what
There must be a QR code.
Well, there's that, and then there's also like my line name.
Either way, I'm definitely down for that, doing Snyder's Batman. Damn it. If only we had waited until I had the whole series bound. That's okay.
What is my line name? Oh, Draven 402, like the crow. Draven 402. Just hit me up online. Sorry. Rosie, currently reading Uncanny X-Force, Kamandi, Justice League Generation Lost, and Sandman Dollhouse.
So Kamandi is one of the it's a very rare Silver Age book for me because it's the only one that I have thoroughly enjoyed reading. A lot of people are going to hate me for what I just said, but Kamandi is actually a lot of fun, and it's not too much exposition, which is what makes it so much fun. And like the beautiful thing about it is each issue ends on a cliffhanger where you can't imagine how Kamandi's going to get out of that situation. And so the next issue is all about Jack Kirby starting off, figuring out how he's going to pretty much resolve that issue. It's so cool. It's so much fun. Love Kamandi.
Awesome. Metal Slug, I love New 52 Batman. We'll join in the reread, sir.
Yes.
Aggressively relaxing.
Perfect.
Hey, I think that's the first time we've seen you. Welcome to the show. I love book clubs. Hell yeah. See, look at this. We got at least, I'm going to assume I love book clubs as a yes. So we'll take that as a yes. Gowtham is in.
Well, here's the thing is like, I feel like a lot of us would love to be able to do this sort of thing when we read something and literally just lift your head up and be like, holy shit, I need to talk to someone about this right now.
Yes.
And so what better way to do that than a live chat room? I mean,
Rosie, I'm in for a group read.
Perfect.
Metal Slug, Court of Owls. K-Hall, I just read Snyder Batman a month ago, but I'll do it again. See, look at this. This is awesome. I love it. I thought Snyder's Batman was not great. Big fall off after death of the family for me.
I can understand that.
All right. I'm not the only one. I have been contemplating getting rid of my physical books and moving to digital completely.
Bold.
That's a big, bold statement, my friend. I am running out of space, and my comic collection has recently been a big source of stress for me. I will be moving soon.
I think we both get that.
Yeah.
Just sell the stuff you don't want, man. Really think about it. Contemplate it for a few weeks. Think about what you really want in your collection. It sounds like you've just got crap in there you don't want. Matt and I have both been there.
Also, if I remember right, Gowtham, you were the one I sold my Hellblazers to, right? Right? I mean, if you're thinking about getting rid of them, I might hit you up on that. Just let me know. What are some books that you think must be read physically and not digitally to appreciate the... Okay, I'm a big believer that this is a thing. Not everybody will agree with me. Some people will be like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm a huge believer that this is actually a thing, that some books you have to read physically to appreciate.
Yes.
For me personally, I'm going to say Claremont's X-Men, like back in the 70s run, like the original, 3-volume omnibuses, now soon to be 4. Those all, in my opinion, cannot be read digitally. They just do not translate well. It's hard to appreciate.
Right.
I will also say Hellboy is another one that must be read physically, not digitally.
Yes.
The weird thing about that is that all the other Mignola stuff, like BPRD, Witchfinder, Baltimore, all that stuff I've read digitally, and it was just fine for me.
It's because Mignola does the artwork on Hellboy, and that's
Hellboy you have to read physically. I tried reading, like Mike tried getting me hooked on Hellboy 4 or 5 years ago now, and I tried reading it digitally first, and I hated it. I was like, dude, I don't understand why people like this. I'm very I want to like it. I like the movies, but like, and then I got it. Well, I just got them back. I have the library editions. Yay! I read it physically, and it was a completely different world for me. Yeah. I thought it was completely amazing reading it physically over digital. And I would also say, like, basically any Silver Age books, really anything that's kind of dated, I guess you could say, I feel like need to be read physically over digitally. They just they just don't translate well, in my opinion. What do you got?
I'll choose 3 and go from there. So the first one for me will be Animal Man by Grant Morrison. Has to be read physically, and you could. The reason I say that is because, as I've mentioned without end, it is a masterpiece. It is the best thing that comics can be, and so it was created with the intent of being read as a full page physically. That's why I think it needs to be read full page physically at all times. Oversize is just a plus. The second one for me will be Anything by J.H. Williams III, because he, like, the way he does his panel layouts and it flows from one page to another. If you're not seeing that full page right away, you're missing out on what sort of I guess atmosphere he's trying to portray. And then the third one will be Sandman. I can't even imagine reading Sandman digitally. I'm sure it's possible, but again, it's just the artists are all like, it's not just panel. It's like, here's a painting, and then there's like panels in between with text bubbles.
Yep, I would agree with that. Sandman's another really good example. I would even say maybe even Preacher. I've tried reading Preacher physically and digitally, and I prefer it physically. Maybe it's just because those absolutes are fucking gorgeous, but yeah, I prefer Preacher's another one. Did everyone like King Batman? Not
everyone.
Well, yeah, a lot of people did.
Everyone's not going to like anything ever.
I've read the first, where was I at? First almost 40 issues, I think. I haven't read the whole thing. I've only read like about the first 40. I enjoy it. Do I think it's a masterpiece? Do I think it's as good as Tynan's Detective Run? No, not at all. But did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. And I thought there were some really great issues.
Yeah.
But overall, as a whole, I mean, I am going to get it all bound. I mean, it will be in my collection and I'll definitely read it again, but I don't think it was a masterpiece, I guess you could say.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. How many of them did you read? Did you read them all? Or?
I read up until about the wedding.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, there are some high moments and some low moments, but it's he wrote like 80 issues. I mean,
and I mean when you're putting out 2 issues a month, like,
yes,
you got to take into consideration like that kind of work as well. Like that's a lot.
Again, like 80 issues within what, 3 years or something?
Yep,
so 70 issues in 3 years. I mean, Jesus.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Silver Surfer Volume 7 and 8 would be best read with a physical copy.
I can see that.
I would agree with Silver Surfer. Do you think Gowtham Central would be reprinted? Yes, I do. If I had to, I'm strictly guessing, but if I had to guess, I would say yes. Your thoughts?
I don't know.
I think that'll be an evergreen book. I mean, they're keeping Jeff Johns' Green Lantern evergreen. They're keeping Sandman evergreen.
Maybe if the Gotham show kept going. I don't know if that's...
But
maybe.
That's not Gotham Central. That's...
Well, I remember they coincided a little. The Gotham show starting and Gotham Central Omni dropping. Maybe.
Yeah.
I could be dreaming.
They had I watched Gotham for like the first 3 seasons. They had nothing to do with one another.
Right. Oh yeah, no, they definitely didn't, but yeah. I think it was a marketing ploy.
L. Denver, do you think Black Science will be reprinted? And then someone did mention, I think, that they saw that they were getting reprinted.
Oh, cool.
So cool. I know the second one got reprinted.
Got a remastered version.
Yeah, remastered or whatever you want to call it. I know that there's 2 versions of it. Crossed is that bad, huh?
It's just intense. Very adult, very graphic.
Very rapey.
Yes.
The salt did not work. I don't know if I know what that means.
Salt doesn't work sometimes.
Mike, I know you like it. I think you're referring to when I said something about crossed.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucked up. Mike, I know you like it. Yeah.
Then Alan Moore, we touched base on that one. Yes, it did. Never mind. Sandman. There it is again. Sandman, what's up, dude? Exactly that's how I felt about Planetary. David Robertson in the house. Wharf up my glip glops. Should we be reading The Authority before Planetary does it? That's kind of what I was touching base on earlier. I am certainly giving Harrow County another shot. Yes, it's great. I strongly recommend it. Sorry, holy crap, you guys are talkative tonight. This is great. We're not bashing. This is great. We absolutely love interacting with you guys. JT, should I pick up Fantastic Four, Iron Man, or Avengers? Your choice.
Silver Age? I'd go Fantastic
Four all the way, sir. I love Fantastic Four, though. I will say, well, you like the Silver Age stuff, so I think you'll really, really, really enjoy it. I really dug it, but the first 20 or so issues of Fantastic Four, it's not quite what you're used to. Like, it's a little weird at first. I mean, it's the first book. This is the first superhero book that they did. You know, like they're trying to definitely find their footing. Yeah. So you got to give them a little bit of time and to really kind of, like, for instance, when you first meet Thing, he's not what he looks like today. He looks like a giant rock turd. I don't know how else to explain it. He literally looks like a deformed rock turd.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's really good though. I think you dig it. A lot of the lore from Harrow County is from my area. I love that series.
Very cool.
That was from like North Carolina, if I remember correctly. Because I know Colin Bunn. If you read Colin Bunn's little blurb about it, he actually talks about where he got the idea for Harrow County and that kind of stuff. And it's from all the what Austin's talking about, the legends and stuff in the North Carolina woods from when he was a kid.
I know Matt probably is in the most popular state because Nebraska is in like every other comic is based in Nebraska.
Super weird.
Literally.
Super weird.
I remember there was like a week where you sent me like 5 different series. You're like, dude, what the fuck? Another Nebraska.
Yep. It was like it was Transformers and Exo Manowar.
I know Sweet Tooth is Nebraska as well.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah.
Transformers, Exo. Yeah, there's
Nebraska and Maine. Maine is a big one for Stephen King. So, yeah, you guys are.
I don't know why people like writing about Nebraska. I think Scalp. Yeah, Scalp. There was a Nebraska one in Scalp. That was another one. I think it kind of makes sense, but
I think it's because it's one of those states where people are like, oh, it's just like the most, fields and wheat thing you could imagine. So they're like, well, let's throw this craziness into Nebraska,
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely parts of Nebraska that are like that. Not where I'm at. Where I'm at is very metro, but yeah. Do you think I'm gonna butcher this? Kodansha will reprint the Akira box set.
Wow, I hope so. It was a nice box set. That was the one that I had picked up and sold for a lot of money once it was out of print. But that was a really nice box set. Great series too. I hope they do. It'd be smart for them too. They'd probably make a lot of money.
Yep. I would agree. I remember a lot of people, I don't really read manga, but I know a lot of people went crazy when that box set came out. Like, there were so many people excited to get it.
Sorry, I set my Siri off.
Sun Jim, what's up? A lot of new faces. I love this. Incredible Hulk by Peter David, Omnibus Volume 1, or Planet Hulk World War Hulk run for a first-time Hulk reader.
Ooh, that's tough.
So, personally, I read Planet Hulk World War Hulk first.
Yeah.
Just because, not by choice. Well, one, Peter David Omnibus didn't exist until very recently. So that's partly why. But I mean, obviously Peter David's run came first and really kind of helped define the character. And speaking of, do you want to talk about what you're going to be getting here pretty soon? You want it to be a surprise, or do you want to talk about it?
Surprise? No, I don't want to talk about it yet. Nothing's official yet, so
it's official. We're holding them.
But I agree, man. Planet Hulk, I think, especially for people who watch the MCU stuff, I think that'll be an easier, way for them to get into Hulk for the first time.
I would agree with that.
Like Peter David's run is fantastic, but someone's gonna read it and be like, what is this Mr. Fix-It shit that's going on? Like, why is the Hulk in a suit with a fedora on?
Yep. I would agree. And man, what's up? As far as Akira, perhaps in 2022 we will get a full color release for the 40th anniversary.
Time to start saving.
That'll be like, what, a $700 box set if they color it?
God, yeah. Wait until it's out of print. Jesus.
Probably reading this later, but I'm in for the comic book club. Yeah, we have another one.
Another Canadian too.
Gotham, man, I haven't seen you in a while, bud.
What
Hell
up?
yeah, I got my custom bound Omni.
Send us those pics, man.
Send us pics.
The hardcover comic at gmail.com. Send us those pics.
JT, speaking of needing the chat, why did SpiderMan give up being SpiderMan?
Too much stress. He's a pussy. Keep going.
Next. Nah, he just, I mean, you got to think. He started at the age of like 15, 16 being this character, and look at all the death and look at all of the tragedy and things that have come over his life and stuff. So, and I mean, plus the character's been around for what, 1963? So how many years is that? A lot. Needless to say, it's a lot of years. And at that point, like, you kind of, as a writer, you have to start coming up with different things. I mean, not only that, but he's had what, over a dozen spinoffs, probably 24 spinoff series as well to boot. Like, every story you could tell has been told. Like, they have to come up with something new. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, he has to step down once in a while. Even Batman giving up being Batman once in a while. It happens.
You got it. And then they come back and they're refreshed, and then they're ready to rock and roll again.
There's a lesson.
It sounds like El Denver's in.
Yes.
Chris M. Crazy Talk. Not sure which one. Probably Batman Snyder, maybe. I don't know. But either way. Gotham Thrasher, custom bound copies of New 52 Batman ready to go.
Step ahead.
All right. Well, are you going to join our reading club, Gotham? That's what we want to know. Hello, Amazing Light. It's 4:30 in the morning in the UK, and you're watching us instead of sleeping. Well, much appreciated. Trying to see what your avatar is.
Making the most of that lockdown.
Yeah. Maybe Amazing Light is secretly Thomas Judge with another account. Gowtham. I missed out on buying the Akira box set for $125 on Amazon. Oh shit. $75 on eBay. Ended up having to fork around $200 for it. I thought those were a lot more. Is that all they were going for? I thought they were more than that.
That's it. No. They weren't. Wow. It was black and white.
I thought they were like the Marvel box sets that like retail MSRP is like $500.
No.
Does the comic you are holding give you joy?
That's the right question to ask.
Very, very true.
Absolutely.
DC Frontier, I need to hold it. Ooh, that's another good example.
Yeah. I mean, there's just certain artists that you just need to see the whole page in your hands. Yeah, for sure.
And it's not just that. For like me, it's an experience. It's the smell of the pages. It's the feel of the paper, especially when you get into the old school newsprint stuff, which is why I love custom buying so much, because a lot of the stuff that we bind is like that older newsprint. And it's like the feel and the smell and the ink and it's a completely different experience than reading digitally.
Right.
El Denver, I seriously hate reading digitally. I can see that. What book have you guys reread the most?
God, I hate myself sometimes. Probably Animal Man. I'm just such a broken record, man. It sucks. Yeah, definitely Animal Man, 100%. Either that or We Three by Grant Morrison. I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know. I always have so much stuff I haven't read to read that I don't get a chance to reread a lot, to be honest with you.
We wanted to talk about our most anticipated releases. What time is it?
Oh, we're gonna get there, sir. You're staying up late.
I'm staying up till 1. Damn it.
We started earlier than normal though. Yeah. We're like an hour ahead of schedule compared to where we normally are.
All right, give me a second while you think.
All right. Well, while he's going over that, I would have to say either Lock and Key. I've read that one a few times now, or The Goon. I love The Goon. Eric Powell. That's another one. Those would probably be the two that I probably reread the most. Gotham, you get the dibs in the Hellblazer Omni. Should I decide to sell it? Yes. I want to tell Mike about that one. Just let me know ahead of time though, so I can start saving up and/or put it on my credit card. One of the two. I need to know ahead of time if it's going on a credit card or if I can save up. He says I have dibs on the Hellblazer.
Oh, shit. Lucky man.
Those might be coming back to Papa. Kyle is, I'm sure they will do a reprint of some kind for the 40th. Austin, Alex Ross, Lakina. Ooh, yes. Yes. Very good call.
Yep.
Yep, Alex Ross. Those are works of art. That is a very, very good call.
Yes.
Sorry, I almost read his best DC events that are not crises.
Blackest Night.
Ooh, yeah, Blackest Night, Brightest Day.
Yes, wonderful stuff. Flashpoint.
Death of Superman.
Death of Superman. Yep, that's a great one. Nightfall. I mean, I don't know if there are any modern ones that really stand out. Forever Evil was quite great. I thought Forever Evil was pretty damn good. I enjoyed.
That's one that I know for a fact I read, but I cannot remember it to save my life.
Oh, dude, so good.
I know I read it, but I read all that stuff, but I cannot remember it to save my life.
Yeah, but I think those are three pretty good ones right there. Blackest Night, Flashpoint, Forever Evil. Good stuff.
Ooh, we have a new question. Tiger Temper, top 5 horror movies. Well, that's a tough one, man, because there are so many that I enjoy. First up, number 1 for me, hands down, is the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I know it's like 9 movies, but we'll count it as one. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street for me, for sure, is an absolute must in there. Followed that up. Now, some of these are some of more modern horror movies, I guess you could say, but I love them nonetheless, and I don't care what anybody says. I will stand by these. 13 Ghosts with Matthew Lillard.
Never seen it.
And Rod Digga and Tony Shalhoub. Wow. And the real hot chick from Shannon Elizabeth. Yeah, 13 Ghosts, dude. I love that movie.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. It sounds like similar to Crossed, though.
No.
Named off a bunch of males and then one female actress.
No. I named off 2. Rod Digga.
True. Never
mind. That's such a good movie, and I love it. I don't know why. I'm a big fan of it. Another one that I'm actually a huge fan. Okay, dude, this is gonna be so bad because people are gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Sometimes They Come Back. It's a Stephen King. It's based on a Stephen King book, and they've now done like Sometimes They Come Back Again, Sometimes They Come Back for More. But the original Sometimes They Come Back is another movie that I absolutely love, and it was like a made-for-TV movie. I don't care. I love it. Such a good movie. That being said, tying for number 4 is gonna have to be the It movies, the original miniseries and the remakes. Both were amazing. So we'll just say It as a whole. We'll as a whole gamut. We'll throw It in there. Oh man, what's another one that like I just love watching? I could watch all day. Probably Dawn of the Dead's really good too, but that's not what I was gonna say. From Dusk Till Dawn. That's another one that I could watch all day, every day, is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Nice.
So those would be my 5.
I don't even know if I could list 5. I love horror movies. I don't remember them very much, and I've mostly seen modern ones, and none of them have scared me. Mostly because
they don't scare you, but they're fun.
But they're not memorable for me. Mostly because whenever I go to a theater to see one of these movies, everyone just starts laughing, or one person gasps, and then everyone's laughing, and the whole thing turns into a cartoon. And it's just not. It just hasn't done it for me. It pisses me off. It's not even worth seeing them in theaters.
Oh, dude, it's fun.
I'm such a bitter old man.
That's why I love them. They're fun.
But I do, on the topic of movies, I quickly want to mention, because it is comic related, the new Netflix movie Extraction. I watched it today with the old man.
You didn't tell me how it was.
It was pretty fun. It was good. It wasn't amazing. It's an action movie. There's a lot of heartwarming moments, especially for you as a father. I think it'll hit you quite a few times in the feels.
Yeah. Did it hit your dad in the feels?
Yeah. And it's Chris Hemsworth, so you're getting a pretty solid main lead, and it's based on a comic I had no idea, by Andy Parks. It's called See You Dad, which is cool. I had no idea. I found that out at the end of it, and then Joe and Anthony Russo were involved with writing it. So yeah, Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not a bad movie. The way it's shot, some of the cinematography is incredible. The way they shot some of the action scenes, it's all flowing so beautifully. The things they do now with movies is ridiculous.
Is the movie a lot of action?
Yes,
My wife loves action movies, thankfully.
she'll
So
that's
okay, good. I'm like, honey, it's Chris Hemsworth in action. She'll probably be like, oh, okay.
You'll enjoy it. Yeah.
All right. Well, date night later this week.
Yep.
Andrew Nutt. Most of the digital stuff I read is more modern stuff. Agreed. I would agree with you 100%. Anything early 90s or later has to be read physically. Modern comics have less frames. It's a lot easier on you as a reader. That's an excellent way of putting it.
Yeah.
I would agree. K-Dog loved Morrison's Animal but didn't like Lemire's. Wow.
Well, it happens.
I mean, they are very different. I'll give you that. I
Yes.
thought Lemire's was really good.
It was good. Yeah, I agree.
Promethea is impossible to read digitally.
Perfect example. Exactly. J.H. Williams III. Exactly.
I read most of Claremont's run in physical. Honestly, I think most of it's overrated, especially the older stuff. The only stuff that I loved was the end of his run. Is that because it was coming to an end?
Yeah. Oh.
See, I loved it when Byrne was doing art. I love John Byrne's art. So when he was doing art on that and I was reading it physically, I fucking loved it. I agree on Alex Russ. Absolute Justice is fantastic. Oh man, J.H. Williams and Sandman, I agree wholeheartedly. See, all right. You must read Stan Lee's stories physically. I would agree.
Yes.
Yep. Man, holy shit, there's a lot of comments. This is amazing.
I think we've got a lot in.
Gotham. We're gonna try to fly through these a little bit quicker, but man, this is awesome. Anything Bill Sienkiewicz will be my candidate for physical reading over. I would also agree with that.
Yep.
No, I did not like King Batman. I Am Gotham left me feeling cold.
Ooh. Made me that left me feeling sad.
I loved King's Batman. Collected them all in singles. I appreciate the different take on the character. Not a fan how he was forced out.
Speaking of being forced out, you know who I'm not a big fan of being forced out is Peter J. Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, and goddamn Dan Jurgens from Superman.
Yes, sir.
Jesus, that was the most egregious overtake I've ever seen.
Also, Bendis could come in and destroy it.
I love how at the con when we asked Patrick Gleason and Dan Jurgens, they're both like, yeah, we hate that this happened. Yeah. We had so many stories planned in our titles, and this just sucks.
Yep, they were very politically correct about what they were saying, but you could tell they were not happy. Joey, Rick Remender said Volume 1 and 2 of Black Science would be reprinted on Twitter. Nice. Well, there you go. Michael FF in the Silver Age. Avengers in the Bronze Age with Perez and Byrne. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
First and last issue I read.
Some of these we're just not going to get the context of.
It's all right. I can't wait for a Fantastic Four Omni Volume 4 to complete the Kirby run, even though I have those issues in Masterworks.
This little subtle flex at the end.
Double dipping.
Yeah.
Gowtham, what are some books or sales you really regret missing out on, like I did with the Akira? That's a good question.
That's an excellent question. I don't know if there's anything recently. Back in the day, I bought whatever the fuck I wanted to buy, so I didn't miss out on shit.
I don't know that there's really regrets that I missed out on the first time. I would say I probably owned it and then sold it, and now I regret it. Like I definitely have those regrets. But I wouldn't say there's anything in this I missed out on. I went, oh, I missed out on this. I think more so for me, it was I owned it, sold it, and deeply regret it. And I've done that with several series. But in the end, at the time, you're buying a house or whatever. That stuff's more important than books anyway.
I deeply regret selling the Goon. Might have to. I think if I'm gonna recollect the Goon, it'll be in the bind format. I think I'll just bind it myself. Get those.
I was debating it just because Library Edition Volume 3 is so fucking expensive. I was debating on doing that, and I gotta say, like the reprint, like the paperback omnibuses that are out now by Albatross, dude, they're great. Like I've picked them up and flipped them. They're excellent quality, like really, really good quality books. But yeah, Matt D, I just literally bought the Akira box set on Book Depository. check if it is still there. Well,
There you go. Hot tip.
Sandman says Peter David for Read. Why do people like Peter David's run so much? Convince me.
I think it was a change of pace. It was a change of pace. They explored some different ideas with the Hulk, like these different personalities that sort of, intertwine with each other. And, it was fun. It was fun, I think. I think that's a big part of it.
Also, his run lasted for like a really long time. So for a lot of people, it's probably what I don't remember the exact years, but it ran for quite a while. And so it's probably what people grew up reading. Like when people say who's the better ghost writer, Ketch or Blaze, and everybody's like, oh, Ketch. Well, that's because that's what they grew up reading. We all know Blaze is the better ghost writer, but Ketch is what they grew up reading. So I think that plays into it.
Someday people are going to say Reyes.
No, if anybody ever says Reyes, they will get drop kicked.
No, Marvel's already reversed all of that stuff.
Yeah, they will get drop kicked. Thanks again. Oh, awesome. He got the book. Got a roll. We'll watch the rest of the stream later and read The Spectre. Yes.
Hey, good for you.
Spectre is one of my that's another book I've reread a bunch from earlier. The Spectre. That's one of my favorite series. I don't know how I missed that one. I've actually reread that one a few times. Invincible Deluxes or the Fables Deluxes?
Invincible.
Okay. Well, Invincible is really good. However, Fables Deluxes there's a few of them now that are out of print and hard to find. So if you're starting like what can I easily get my hands on? Invincible Deluxes.
Better series too.
Well, that we can't say that. We haven't read all of Fables.
That's true. Dude, come on. You really think Fables is better than Invincible?
I don't know. I haven't read it all. I've read all of Invincible, but I haven't read all of Fables. I've only read maybe 2 books of it.
True.
The Hero box that was a little reasonable back in August. I think it's September it started to skyrocket. I'll join a reading club. Do we get to drink wine during it? Sir, you can drink or smoke or whatever you want during it.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. For repeating, I've already got one actually line notification here. So somebody's already joined us.
Oh, shit.
I don't know who this is. TGK 1729. So whoever TGK 1729 is, they have joined our reading club.
Well, it looks like we need to make a group right now.
Yeah, so join the line. Draven 402 is how you find me. Gowtham, hell yeah, I'm in for the reading club. This is awesome, dude. We actually got like a little community going. This is great.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Michael. I will consider that question when I thin my collection. Oh yeah, about in regards to does the book make you happy?
Oh yeah. No, that's
really good. I'm in for Sandman's in for the book club, but not New 52 Swamp Thing or New 52 Batman. Sorry.
If anyone's looking, line ID the Superior Nova. Add me.
Superior Nova, aren't we highly?
Yeah, man. That was my War Heroes name, man. Superior Nova. Superior Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man was coming out.
Yeah,
the new guy was becoming Nova, whatever that kid's name is, I forget. But he was becoming Nova at the time. Come on, man. Huge throwback here.
Well, Sandman says he's in, but not for Batman. He wants to do Swamp Thing or Justice League Dark.
Justice League Dark. I've been looking for an excuse.
Okay, let's do Justice League Dark after Batman.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Skip out on the first round. Fair enough.
Daniel, I just picked it up.
GGK 1729 just added me.
Yes. Right. So they're on top of it. I don't know who they are. We'll find out, I'm sure, when we get down further to the comments. But reread Global Frequency by Ellis. Most or Batman Year One by Miller. Which one should he reread?
Batman Year One. Well, I mean, I don't know how many times you've read Batman Year One, but it's a guaranteed good time. I like Global Frequency as well. I mean, they're very different books.
I personally would go Batman, but that's
I would go Batman as well.
The Goon, I'm with you on that. Love it. Yeah, The Goon is like one of my all-time favorite books of ever.
Yeah.
I just picked up Multiversity Deluxe from ISD. Can't wait to check it out. Multiversity is a fun book.
It's great.
Was it Captain Carrot or whatever? I was like, what is this? Is that his name, Captain Carrot?
I think so, yeah, Captain Carrot, which is great because you also, I don't know if you've read more Tom Strong or not. Have you?
No, I mean, like an issue here or there. That's a slow burn for me. Have you seen the Captain?
Have you seen the Captain Carrot of the Tom Strong universe? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right, I'm excited though.
Yeah.
No, I am reading Tom Strong still. That one's a slow. I don't want it to end. Like I'm afraid for it to end. So that one I'm thoroughly enjoying and taking my time with. Gowtham, what books would you consider modern day masterpieces? The Spectre.
What's the I guess
Let's say
cutoff for modern, you know?
let's say 90 for on 1990 forward. Because that's sort of when modern started. I mean, let's be real. Modern comics sort of started in the early 90s.
Yeah. I would say like 90% of the stuff Grant Morrison's done since 1990.
You were hoping I'd say like 85 so you could throw Animal Man in there.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, 100%. I think All-Star Superman is a masterpiece, in my opinion.
I would agree with that.
I think that's the best you can do with Superman. I think Preacher's a masterpiece as well. For me, I think Hellboy is.
Yes. The Goon.
The Goon, yeah. Jeff Johns' Green Lantern is. I mean, it's pretty far up there. God damn.
There's a lot if you think about it. Definitely the Spectre by Ostrander. That one for me personally is one of the greatest books ever. I love it. It's so incredibly good. Yeah. And it dives deep in a lot of the philosophical stuff, questioning like faith and things like that. So if you're someone that, you know, is religious at all or spiritual at all, it kind of hits you in the feels a little bit with different things. But go ahead.
Anything Matt Kent did at Valiant is
good call.
Is the best.
DG, I really dislike the digital recoloring in both DC and Marvel omnibuses pre-85. I will be voting with my dollar and never purchasing anything from them again. What they did with BWS's work is criminal. Mr. Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people are not fans of the recoloring. I can understand it. I personally don't have too much attachment to the coloring. So that's just me. I totally understand where people are coming from because I have attachments to things that other people don't have attachments to. For example, if I see a typo in a book, that shit drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because I know those editors are getting paid good money. And if you're mixing up the word hour with R, I mean, it's just whatever. But yeah, I can understand the frustration. I just I'm not on the same page. I don't mind the recoloring so far, honestly.
K-Dog just ordered Swamp Thing from Nancy Collins and Wonder Woman Gail Simone from Indigo Books.
Look at you being all progressive buying those female books, female written books.
You're just mad you don't have Nancy Collins Swamp Thing.
No.
You have them in singles though, don't you?
Expensive. Most of the run, yeah.
A Canadian. I don't know if Michael knows, but Mike is a Canadian as well. There's a few of them running around. Kyle Lewis, best Daredevil run. So I haven't read a ton of Daredevil, so I really can't say like, oh, this is my definitive opinion. But from what I've read, I really love what Bendis did with Daredevil, and I'm currently reading Brubaker. And I think I might like Brubaker just slightly more. But I'm only about halfway through Brubaker. So, I mean, I got more to go before I can really finalize my opinion. Yeah. I've also read Mark Waid's Daredevil. I really liked it a lot too. Don't get me wrong. It was all great. But right now, like I'm loving what Brubaker did on Daredevil right now.
And that's my eternal Daredevil debate is Bendis versus Brubaker because they're just so close. You know what I mean?
Back to back.
Oh, it's so good. Both of those are
fantastic. Literally back to back. Like Bendis jumped off, Brubaker jumped on.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you think the story's gonna get worse? No. You think the art's gonna get worse? No. It's gonna stay insanely good. I don't know. I can't but choose between those two. I think they're both tied for first. Honestly. And it's back to back, like you said. You could read one into the next and not have to worry about anything.
Nope.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's for me. Gowtham, you had me at Shannon Elizabeth. I'm telling you, man, 13 Ghosts. Go see it. It's a great movie. Zdarsky. Starsky's a fun guy. I like him.
Yeah.
Trip C, dude, sometimes they come back, and 13 Ghosts are both great movies. Yes, I'm not the only one. Such a good movie. A lot of people don't know sometimes they come back, so I'm happy that I'm not the only one. Gowtham, Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård, who made the better monster? Okay, just because what I grew up on, I gotta go with Tim Curry. He was the original one. He was the original Pennywise that terrified me as a child, that made my friends shit their pants. Like, I gotta go with Tim Curry. However, that being said, what Bill Skarsgård did, because he came in, and so Tim Curry invented this iconic character, right? Like on the screen, and Bill Skarsgård had to come in and take an extremely beloved character and make it his own. So big props to Skarsgård, because what he did with it, fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible what he did with the character. I love them both, but if I had to say who wore it best type thing, I would have to go with Curry, just because that's what I grew up on.
It's one of those things where it's like Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger, and it's like, well, I mean, damn it, they're both amazing.
Yep. Good God, so many comments. I love it. Gowtham, do you prefer gory horror, atmospheric, or psychological?
I'm personally a bigger fan of things like, like Alien. I know it's considered a horror movie, right? The original.
And today's Alien Day.
Oh well, hey.
There you go.
I think that's the way I'd go. I don't know. I guess the gory's nice too. I like gory. I don't mind some of the gorier ones, but I like more. I don't know what Alien would even be, because that's more atmospheric.
Yeah,
right?
I would say that's more atmospheric. In space, no one can hear you scream.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's more atmospheric.
That's the way I'd go for myself personally.
I love gory, just because a lot of times a gory comes humor, and I'm a huge fan of humor, which is why I love the Nightmare on Elm Street series so much. All of Freddy's one-liners are like daily quotables for me. Okay, like I absolutely love them. Like, now you're playing with power. Like, I love it. It's like the greatest thing ever. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Like, it's so good. I love Freddy. So I'd have to go with gory, just because a lot of times those have more humor in them. But I also love psychological stuff too. Like, I don't know if I would necessarily call them horror. Usually when you get into psychological, it's kind of more thriller-ish. But like movies like Identity with John Cusack. Mm-hmm. If you guys, I'm not going to say anything, because if I do, I'm going to end up ruining the movie for you guys. But if you've never seen Identity with John Cusack, strongly recommend it. It is such a good movie. Love Identity. And so movies like that are, like, I would say The Exorcist was sort of psychological. Like, The Exorcist messed with me too, man, when I was a kid.
Sure.
K-Dog, Daredevil is a character who isn't as popular, but has had some of the best runs in comics. I think it's because he's more street level. He doesn't have a super power, so to speak. I think maybe that's why he was never like a flagship character, like a SpiderMan or I don't think Batman.
He's just not powerful enough to be in the Avengers, and that's really what's held him back this whole time, right? Because Batman can be in the Justice League.
That's true.
He's an incredible genius. He's got all these devices and gadgets and, incredible budget. But Daredevil's like, well, I don't got the money for it, so I can't make the cut. I'm just on the street. I'm
on the street level defenders defending. And all he really ever defends is Hell's Kitchen. Yeah. Like, it's rare that Daredevil goes. I guess there's one time where he went west. But, like, usually it's rare that Daredevil leaves Hell's Kitchen, which I think is another reason.
Exactly.
I think stuntmen make good action movies. John Wick, Atomic Blonde, Extraction. I haven't seen Extraction, but John Wick and Atomic Blonde were really good.
Yeah.
Tiger, I did not expect those horror movies. Everyone always has such personal favorites, and I rarely hear the same picks twice. 13 Ghosts is super fun. Yes, 13 Ghosts is a blast. I love that movie. I recently got my 11-year-old into horror movies. I started back when he was like 4. It sounds horrible, but it's true. I started him off with Freddy versus Jason because it's funny. But 2, I took it down, and what I did was I broke it down and explained to him what they looked like before he even saw the movie. I explained to him what the actors looked like outside of the movie. I showed him what they look like with makeup on in the movie. I explained that it's completely fake. Nobody's getting hurt. They're acting. It's a thing. Da 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 da. And then once I explained all that to him, he goes, "All right, let's watch it." And then when we did, he wasn't scared at all because he knew that it was fake, and it didn't like mess with him in that sense. Right. Except for Chucky. We tried watching Child's Play, and to this day, now it's like 7 years later, he will not watch Child's Play. Wow. Chucky messes with him something fierce. There's something about that talking doll that he does not like.
You found the trigger.
Yeah, so I used to mess with him. Like when we'd be in Halloween stores and I'd see a Chucky doll, I'd throw it at him. I'm an asshole, but it was funny.
You gotta have fun. All right, well, I guess did we want to keep? Oh, I feel so bad because there's so many comments, but I want to talk about these most anticipated releases.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, we'll run through the comments really, really fast.
Real quick.
All right, Lemire's Animal Run, while I enjoyed it, I think it's near the bottom of all his works.
Bold.
Extraction had some really great. I'll just read them real quick. You throw in your words, and then we'll just keep going. Boom, boom, boom. Extraction had some really great action sequences, especially that semi-continuous shot car chase. Story and characters were a bit thin, cookie cutter.
100%.
No, I should not pick up Iron Man Epic Volume 1, X-Men Volume 1, but Fantastic Four Volume 1, yes.
Yes.
I eventually picked them all up if you enjoy them, but I would say Fantastic Four first.
Yes.
Tripsy, fun fact that stunt director in Extraction is the sniper with the big beard on Hemsworth's team in the beginning of the movie. Also used to be Chris Evans' stunt double in Captain America.
Very fun fact.
JT, I don't pick up Avengers #1, but I want to try all of those.
Absolutely.
Is there a book you think is overrated but still enjoyed? Every Morrison book.
Every Grant Morrison book. Haters.
I would say probably Hellboy. Hellboy, I don't necessarily think Hellboy is overrated, but there's a lot of people out there that think that Hellboy is extremely overrated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably go with Hellboy in that regard. Before doing some work on the Avengers movies, I think Endgame and Infinity War before going on to make his directorial debut in Extraction, moving up in the world from just stunt double, great action. I finally bought the X-Men by Morrison Omnibus from Amazon. Patiently waiting for it to arrive. Never read it before, so this will be interesting.
Love Phantom X.
Mike will tell you you're in for a treat. Are they reprinting Akira? It's on. Oh, Gowtham is TGK 1729. Now we know.
Perfect.
All right. Matt, I cannot stress this enough. Fables is not better than Invincible. I didn't say it was. I was just saying I haven't read all of Fables to make a fair judgment.
True. It's tough to decide.
What is this reading club you speak of? So you want to explain it?
New 52 Batman, we're going to be doing a reading club and we're going to talk to each other using an application called Line, Line. It is the logo is sort of a green square with a little white circle that says Line. And add us the Superior Nova, all one word, or
Draven 402.
There you go. And we're going to start up a little room here called the Hardcover Comic Reading Room.
Oh, it's on there somewhere if it comes into focus.
Top left corner there. It's just a green square with a white little speech bubble in the middle of it that says Line, and then add us. I am the Superior Nova, and Matt is
Draven 402.
There you go.
Oh, and then also what we're going to do is once we're all done reading and stuff, we're going to try to get together weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is that we can all come to. We're all going to try to get together on like a Zoom event or a StreamYard, like what we're doing right now, and just have a big discussion and maybe record it and throw it on the YouTube channel.
Yes. So the way the Line works, it's a live chat room. So we can all chat to each other at any point in time, send pictures, whatever. So it'll be, multifunctional, but that's the main idea with the reading club.
Yes. Disappointed with DC's. Oh, I'm getting some Line notifications. We got a few more. Woo-woo! Disappointed with DC's collection department. Too many standard size hardcovers. Starman Omnibus canceled. To my knowledge, yes. Morrison's JLA Omnibus cancel rumors. I have not heard that one. Have you?
I haven't either.
I haven't heard JLA Morrison being canceled. Yet they push stuff like Swamp Thing by Nancy Collins Omni.
Well,
I'm more upset by the Burn Man of Steel Omni cancellation. That's what I'm more upset by.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah.
Checked out your video on Top Image Comics. I saw certain books are hard to get or expensive, like Choose Smorgasbord. Do books like that go back into print?
With Image, not likely, because Image is based on the sales at the time, and then they sort of tell the creators, hey, by the way, you could do this deluxe edition, and so they sort of motivate them that way. I don't think there's going to be any reprints for Chew, especially at this point. There would have been a reprint by now, I would think. I don't know. It's just tough for me to imagine. If it's not a Rick Remender book, I can't see it going back to print.
Why is it not clicking? It's not. What is going on? It's not working. Okay, it's scrolling, but when I click, it's not doing anything. What the hell's going on? All right, let me try this again. Let me just. Yeah, it doesn't matter what I click on.
None of the comments work?
No, it doesn't matter. I can't, even the one I can't hide it. I can't bring up something new.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we're just gonna go quickly here. Chris M, will Fun Boy be in the book club? No, because that son of a bitch killed Brandon Lee. Trip C's collection. Sam Alex. Oh, now it's coming up.
Oh, you're back in.
It's working. It's working now. I did.
You dropped out for a second. It was like
maybe I was having internet issues.
Yeah.
Did you hear my Fun Boy comment?
Yes.
Yeah, son of a bitch killed. Okay. Tripsy, Sam Alexander, is that Nova's name?
Yes, that's right. Sam Alexander, that's it.
Andrew Nutt, what's the name? Line app, which I think you got because I believe you just added us. Is IST Amazon secure? IST is 1,000 times better than Amazon, if that's what you're asking.
Oh yeah. Your books will come with 0 damage.
Is there a Canadian version of IST or cheap graphic novels?
Nope. They hate us.
It's called Amazon.
Let's start one.
What else? You guys have like Indigo book? Is that like a Barnes and Noble type thing?
Yeah. So you're not getting any deals there.
Oh yeah, no. I haven't found a Canadian version of those cheap graphic novel sellers yet. I say Amazon secure, and I mean no one sells your information. Oh, yeah. In that regard, I've been a member with IST for at least 3 or 4 years now, and I've never had an issue.
Listen, if anyone's more liable to sell your information, it's Amazon. They have a far larger reach than IST in terms of people who want your data.
And IST as well they're a sister company of DCBS. Right. So you're good, man.
Yeah.
Echo Fives, gotcha. Thanks. I will have to revisit All-Star Superman sometime. I didn't quite appreciate it as much as other readers. It was my first Superman story ever, though.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's quite a story for a first time.
Yes, it is. Bruce, what's up? Working from home, 3rd shift. At least I got this to keep me from boredom. Well, welcome, sir. I'm glad we can help you out here.
Sorry we got to you late.
Dad Boy Steve, yo, boys and bros and girls. What is up? What I missed so far?
We announced all the releases for DC and Marvel in the year 2021, so you missed that.
Brubaker over Bendis. Fair
enough.
How is Mark Waid's run compared to Bendis and Brubaker? I enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It's different. It's not. I don't know how to explain it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I still definitely recommend reading it if you haven't yet. It is definitely something I would recommend, but I like I don't know, it's not quite as street level as Bendis and Brubaker's.
It doesn't feel as Daredevil. It's a lot more Silver Age Daredevil, which is like, more fun, and he's sort of like a road pirate. It's not as dark though.
No, it's not.
Which is where Daredevil shines, oddly enough.
Just finished Bendis Volume 2. Have Miller still to read, then maybe Brubaker. No, Brubaker's a must, my friend. You must read Brubaker. I'm reading right now. It's great. I was a Bendis Brubaker fan back in the day, but now I would say Wade Samney run is the best.
Fair enough.
Soul's first arc with Garney is underrated, though. I would agree. I did read Soul's run with that. I would agree it is underrated. Thank you, Matt Collections. What's going on?
What up, Matt Collections?
Every time I see Tiger Temper, I think Tiger King. Did you guys see the Valiant Bloodshot movie or the Netflix Lock and Key series? Yes to both. In my opinion, both were worse than the source material. Agreed. Amazon's The Boys, however, was better than the comic. I think I might have to agree. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't necessarily dislike the movie or the show or anything like that, but I would say that the source material is better. I would agree with you there.
I don't know how I feel about The Boys. I thought the comics were better, but different strokes.
Yeah. Anybody get that Jonah Hex hardcover volume 1? That should have been a whole Bronze Age omnibus instead of possibly 2 hardcovers.
I think initially it was an omnibus, and then they broke it up into these hardcovers.
Same thing they're doing Man of Steel.
Yep. Shafting the fans.
Tiger Temper, I totally agree. Also, if today is Alien Day, when is Predator Day? Well, theoretically, it should be tomorrow. Let's see. Trip C. I like those old school Puppet Masters. Yeah. And I think it was Ghouls or something like those crazy. Okay. Are you talking about Ghoulies? Because the Ghoulies movies, okay, real quick here. The Ghoulies movies are ridiculous. So they start off like the very first movie. It starts off as like these non-talking little like fucking demons that come up out of a toilet and bite your ass and shit, right? Think like this is like 80s too. So it's like 80s puppetry. Then they do Ghoulies 2 where they start talking. And I love Ghoulies 2 because it makes it funnier that they're talking. Like they're horrible B movies, but they're so much fun, right? Then you have Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College.
Oh shit.
That's not a joke name. That is the real name of the movie. And I want to say Matthew Lillard might actually be in that movie too, come to think of it.
Oh wow.
Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College is the most ridiculous movie ever. Okay. So if that's what you're referring to, which I hope it is, that's you gotta be talking about Ghoulies. Oh, you gotta be. Thor has had some solid runs as well. Yeah, I would agree with that, especially Aaron's run on Thor. Holy crap, was that good?
JMS had a good.
Freddy versus Jason was awesome. Man, the torpedoes. I almost pissed myself laughing when he said that. Yes. Economic discrimination will follow you even in the comic book universe. Poor Daredevil. Because he can't get out of Hell's Kitchen.
Exactly.
J Nut, he's on.
Perfect.
We can always wait for the next Chew TV show or movie to come out for them to reprint those. However, the iZombie TV show is very similar to Chew, so don't know how possible that is.
Well, it's similar, but at the same time, it's not too similar, right? Because everyone, even though it's all, so for those that don't know what Chew is this comic series that follows the main character named Tony Chew, who is a chibopath. And so what that means is whenever he has a certain ability when it comes to food. In his case, his ability is when he eats something, he gets to see its entire lifespan. So if he eats an apple, he gets to see that apple grow. He gets to feel it grow. He gets to feel that worm burrow through it and taste it. And then he gets to feel someone pluck it from its mother, basically the tree, and start to process it. So it's pretty cool. And then you've got a bunch of other people, like this woman he falls in love with. She can write about food so well that people literally taste it. So if she thinks something is disgusting, you'll see all these people vomiting because they've read her review and they think it's disgusting as well. It's really fun. I don't know. iZombie has a similar premise, but in terms of like, eating something or consuming something and memories coming with it. But Chew with the food aspect is a little different. And with that new ongoing series that's starting soon, that may trigger a reprint in deluxes. We'll see.
Sorry, I was looking up Ghoulies Go to College again to see if I was right about Matthew Lillard. I might have been wrong about that one, but either way, Ghoulies Go to College. Great movie. Oh, no, he wasn't it. Matthew Lillard. He wasn't it. I was right. Doesn't Book Depository do free international shipping? I have no idea. I've never ordered from them.
They do as an Amazon third-party seller in Canada.
I don't know about the discounts, though. What is a darker, less superhero Daredevil? What? Am I reading that wrong? What is a darker, less superhero Daredevil? Oh, what is a darker, less superhero Daredevil?
Like a Punisher kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Street level, he's definitely less of a superhero than that Daredevil is.
He's definitely darker. Blade doesn't get the love and recognition that he deserves.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, neither does Daredevil. Or not Daredevil, sorry, I read Daredevil and I said that Ghost Rider.
Ghost
Ghost
Rider.
Rider doesn't get the fucking love he deserves either. Granted, Ghost Rider's not really street level, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know. Iron Fist doesn't really seem to get the love. Neither does. I don't know. There's a few that just they get the Power Man and Luke Cage and
Shang-Chi does not get the love he deserves. That Master of Kung Fu stuff was brilliant.
well, see, here's the thing with the movie. I mean, grant's been postponed, but with the movie coming out soon, do you think they're gonna start pumping out new content?
Well, he's supposed to be Green Lantern now as well, right?
Oh yeah. Shit, wrong fitting.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would hope so. I'd hope so. But I know with those Shang-Chi Omnis, I remember Omar, I think, mentioned this, that it was like a one-time deal that Marvel was able to print those Omnis for Shang-Chi. So those will not get reprinted. But yeah, I mean, he's a great hero too. I don't know if anyone's like less superhero than Daredevil, considering his only superpower is being able to use radar as opposed to sight. It's not even like a superpower, right? It's like a replacement. Instead of sight, here you have this amazing.
He just has heightened senses because he's blind.
So it's like it's sort of like a super. It's like 1.5 times a regular human. I don't know. Captain America is not darker though than Daredevil.
No, not darker at all.
Maybe
Captain America's like the shining light.
Right. I don't know.
Punisher. Punisher's a good one.
Yeah, or read, I don't know, some Robin stuff from the 80s.
Ooh, like Chuck Dixon's Robin.
Yeah, get some of that. Get Death in the Family. That'll get you.
There you go.
Robin story.
Line IDs one more time. So mine is Draven 402, like the Crow. Draven 402.
And mine is The Superior Nova, all one word.
Let's see here. Wade Samney, Black Widow is pretty good, but short. And that was a fun run.
Yes, I agree.
It was short, but that was a fun run. Gotta go check out Ghoulies Go to College. Yes, you do. It's rated like a 3.6 or some shit on IMDb. It's not rated very highly. It's probably up there with Troll 2, to be honest with you. If anybody knows what Troll 2 is, what I'm referring to, you guys know what I'm saying. Should I go back and reread Amazing Spider-Man? If you got time and you're looking for stuff to read and it brings you joy, by all means, sir, go back and reread it.
Absolutely.
Would love to see a Wes Anderson or Edgar Rice's take on Chew.
Those are pretty intense takes on Chew, I think.
Yes, those would be
very intense.
Do you guys like the artist edition books that are put out by IDW? Okay, so real quick, me personally, I think they're really cool for those that like those big coffee table art books. I unfortunately do not have the room, space, or anything to even remotely come close to displaying them without them getting destroyed by 4 children. So they're not for me, but when I can go to somebody else's house and flip through them, I think they're amazing.
Yep, I agree.
What was yours? You had something that was pretty intense like that, didn't you? It was like a Terminator RoboCop or something. Mike's got this one that I'm actually kind of jealous over if it's what I think it is. We'll find out. Oh my God. What was that?
That was it.
That was what the book fell?
Yeah. It's okay though. This book is ridiculous. This is
the one I'm jealous of. I am very jealous of this book. It's upside down.
It literally fell down right now off the top of my bookshelf, and it's totally fine. 0. It's a pizza box.
Yes, that book I am jealous of. I do like that book a lot.
It's nice.
Yeah, the big RoboCop Terminator.
Yeah. They're cool, but like you said, it's just logistically doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Especially, I mean, if you have a place to display it, they're great. But like, I have the giant king size Fantastic Four that is currently sitting on top of my bookshelf because I have nowhere else to put the damn thing. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's really cool to have. I got it for like $25. I'm not gonna say no to it, but like, What am I
Usually
going to do?
expensive too.
The Punisher, yes, agreed. The Punisher. Chris Siani, I've been diving into MMPR and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Go Go, living up to the hype. Yes. I haven't read Go Go, but I did read the MMPR, and yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun, especially for those people that kind of grew up watching it. They did a really good job nailing the voices, I think, of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil's power is to make really hot women fall in love with him.
True.
I mean, I guess that is true if you think about it. Maybe they're like, because they're like,
Damaged.
he can't tell how beautiful I am because he's blind, so therefore he likes me for me and not for my looks.
Exactly. Well, he was with a blind woman for a while. So.
Secretly, he's like, bitch, you don't even know. Tiger Temper, need an Iron Fist Brubaker Fraction Omnibus reprint. You know what's really funny about that? So I've actually, before, like an hour or two before the show started tonight, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'm kind of on this Brubaker kick lately, right? I love Brubaker. And so I was looking at like Killer Be Killed because I need to get the deluxe for that. And I haven't gotten that yet. So I was kind of looking at buying that potentially. And then I got to thinking, like, what are other Brubaker books I love? And then I was like, oh, I know I've already read Immortal Iron Fist, but I know the book's out of print, but is it? So go for it. So then I got to thinking, maybe there's only like 17 or 18 issues in that omnibus. That's a really small omni.
Yeah.
So then I got to thinking, you know what? Instead of paying these crazy overpriced prices for it, it might be cheaper to bind it. Like get the issues and bind, or get them in trade paperback and bind the damn thing. Then that started me on this whole Captain America kick, which is where I think Brubaker really shines. I mean, aside from his indie stuff, I think Captain America is where he really shines. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, well, I know I've seen the 5 omnis come up every once in a while for sale. They're like $500 for all 5 of them, which isn't horrible, but it's still a lot of money. I was like, or do I buy them and bind them? So I found a seller that has the entire run in floppies for like $180.
Oh my god!
But then with bindings, I looked. I'm by the time all is said and done with dust jackets, binding, floppies, etc., I'm like $400-ish in. So now I'm like, well, is it worth it? Or I mean, granted, that way though, I can pace my money. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't have to pay $500 at once.
Yeah.
So I'm a little torn. I went on the Brubaker kick right before the show, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Well, I don't think they'll ever reprint those omnis, so well, they might actually. I don't know.
Maybe we'll see. K-Hall downloaded the app. Line, awesome. Looking forward to it. Ghoulies 3 is Hope Marie Carlton. They're eating him, and they're going to eat me. Oh no! I have the Watchmen Artist Edition. That'd be a fun one to have. It is crazy how all Shang-Chi omnis came out within a year and a half of each other. That is they printed those frickers fast. And some runs take years in between volumes. It's not to say that Shang-Chi is bad, though.
I'll be back in a sec. Just fly through these comments.
All right. Who is the artist in that? Frank Miller? Well, he just took his headset off. I'm going to say yes. I'm pretty sure it was Frank Miller. I think. We'll ask him when he gets back, but I'm pretty sure that was Frank Miller. I have the Fantastic Four, Behold Galactus. That's a monster. Yep. I have nowhere to put it. It's sitting on top of my bookshelf. I think the artist editions are meant for comic book artists, I guess. It's meant for anybody that really, truly appreciates art. We actually ran into Matt Kent at a con a while back, and he had just bought from like some seller at the con an artist book. And I mean, this thing was mass. I can't remember which one it was. I wish I could. I cannot remember. Maybe Michael will remember, but it was insane. And he was like letting us flip through it with him, and we were talking about it. Really cool guy. If you guys ever run into Matt Kent at a con, super fun guy to talk to. I love Killer Be Killed and the Fade Out by Brubaker, but couldn't get into Fatale for some reason. Yeah, the only one. Well, see, I thought I had the Fade Out custom bind, but it got destroyed in shipping apparently, so I didn't get it. I need to get Killer Be Killed. I've read most of it digitally, but I need to pick it up physically. I have Incognito. Criminal I did have, but I sold, and I'm glad that I did because those are actually getting reprinted and they're gonna have extra content. So yeah, I'm excited for the Criminals reprints to come back out. I can't wait to buy those. But yeah, so that being said, We are officially caught up on comments. Man, this was a lot tonight. This is good though. We're not complaining. Please don't think that we're like, oh, you guys are too tired. Like, this is great. I think it's fabulous. Mike, real quick, that was Frank Miller on that RoboCop Terminator, right?
He wrote it. Walt Simonson did the artwork.
Oh, Walt Simonson did the art?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah,
do you
Frank
remember
Miller
when we met Matt Kent? Do you remember what artist book he had that he was like letting us flip through?
I do not.
I can't remember what it was.
Shit. I don't remember. No.
Yeah, I cannot remember what it was.
Was it like one of the Frazetta things, maybe? Because I know those Frazetta sisters were there.
Maybe. I don't remember. It was neat though.
Yeah.
Marvel Knights Defenders of the Street seem interesting. A team of Daredevil, Punisher, Black Widow, Cloak and Dagger, and Shang-Chi. That could be fun. That actually could be a really fun book.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yeah.
Cool.
Volume 1 of Criminals getting reprinted.
Ooh.
Yes, actually, I think volumes 1 and 2 are both getting reprinted, if I remember correctly. They were going to add in some additional stuff, and then they're releasing volume 3.
That's correct.
That is what Sean Phillips actually officially posted on, I think it was Instagram.
Yep.
Is that they were reprinting 1 and 2. They were going to have new artwork and things like that on the covers. They were making a volume 3 officially to end it, and there was going to be some like extra stuff in there. So for anybody that wants to get rid of their stuff, and that's per Sean Phillips. So
sweet.
Last comment, and then we'll jump into what Mike's been dying to talk about. Do you guys like Calvin and Hobbes? I enjoyed it, like reading the strips as a kid.
Likewise.
I'm not like a big I know there's a lot of like diehard Calvin and Hobbes collectors out there. I'm not one of them, but I did definitely read like the strips and stuff as a kid.
Yeah, same here.
All right, throwing up Mike's screen here.
Sorry, I got all excited.
No, you're good. We got through the comments, man. I was just telling everybody this is fantastic. I can't believe how much there was to discuss tonight. This is super cool.
Yeah, so I know last week when we did our live stream, our main intent was to sort of do this. Was to do this like top or most anticipated books of 2020. So sorry guys, my screen's getting crazy. So I went ahead and made myself a little fancy thing here for my top 10.
More than likely, me and Mike are going to agree on the majority of these.
Sure. So I guess I can run through mine, and you can tell me what you think. So my this isn't from 1 to 10 either, so it's not in terms of most anticipated, but one of the books I'm really excited for is Books of Magic Omnibus Volume 1. I've been on a huge Sandman universe quest, reading all their shit, so I'm really excited to have this this omnibus for sure. That's coming in October.
So that's gonna collect the earlier stuff too, right? That's not just the Sandman universe, like new stuff. Like that's going back to like
this is all
Books of Magic, right?
Yeah, this is the classic stuff. Yeah, this is from the 90s.
Is all of that from the 90s? Like none of that's the new stuff.
No, not at all.
Oh damn, I didn't realize it ran for that many issues.
Oh yeah, it's Sandman Universe Classic. So there's definitely going to be a volume 2, and I think that's where it's going to stop.
Wow, I didn't realize Books of Magic ran for that many issues.
Oh yeah, it was like about 60 issues it ran. Yeah. And so you can see the fancy little price here of $193 Canadian cover price. Gotta love
so
that
that's
shit.
150 US.
Yeah.
God, no, that'll be a good one.
Batman by Paul Dini. I know we've spoken about this before. I'm really excited.
Very excited for that one. Very excited.
Yeah. Pretty much the only thing by him it doesn't collect is what was it? Dark Knight. The story, the sort of autobiographical story he did about when he got mugged.
Yeah.
So that's the only Batman related thing that's not included here. But either way, another Batman book. We're getting the part 3 of 3 for the Batman by Grant Morrison Omnibus trilogy. Of course, I'm very excited for that.
That one I don't need.
Fair enough. You don't.
I don't. I read it. I had a hard time reading Grant Morrison's Batman. I like Grant Morrison and like damn near everything he writes, but that one I had a very hard time with.
Well, Green Arrow by Mike Grell. This is a one people have been waiting for a very long time.
That is one I've never read, but I am interested to check out.
It's going to be good. I'm very excited for it. Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore, Volume 2. I mean,
I have no need for that. I have the customs.
Fair enough. So Plastic Man, this one was one of those books where like no one's really mentioned it. I don't know what's happening with this thing. I don't know if they say deluxe edition, so I have to assume it's oversized.
So it'd
But
be
it's gonna
75 US, maybe 50
probably,
US.
yeah, probably 75. And it collects 20 issues. Whoop, sorry guys. 20 issues collecting this entire run by what in the fuck is going on? By Kyle Baker, who apparently wrote one of the best Plastic Man runs of all time. Just Plastic Man in general. He wrote one of the best Plastic Man stories in general. So I'm pretty excited for this one.
Gail Simone wrote Plastic Man not that long ago, right? It was Gail Simone that I'm thinking of.
Maybe
there was a Plastic Man run. It was like 6 issues or so that released within the last couple of years, and I want to say it was Gail Simone that wrote it. It was a lot of fun. It was an interesting take. I didn't really know that much about Plastic Man as a character, and that was the first run of his like solo that I've ever read. So I am interested in that one, just because of the run I had read previously with. I want to say it was Gail Simone. Does anybody know? Am I right on that? It was at Gail Simone. It was a good run.
I mean, yeah, and this is like 2004, this book, so it shouldn't be, it'll be pretty interesting. It's not like you're diving back into the Silver Age or some weird stuff. Next up, I mean, something I think most people are looking forward to is the upcoming Black Hammer Library editions. So we officially got a volume 2 of the World of Black Hammer, but the thing that kind of pisses me off is they just collect like 2 minis in each of these. Like the World of anyway, the World of books, they just collect 2 minis, which is like 9 issues maybe.
But those are usually fairly inexpensive books, though, too. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, so it like the Canadian cover price is $66.
Oh, really?
So I mean, yeah, I mean for
that's
Canadian,
a little more than I was thinking, but
yeah, but I mean in the States that'll be like 50, 45.
Well, yeah,
40.
and then through IST you're picking up for like 20, $25.
It's not bad, but moving right along real quick. True Lives of Fabulous Killjoys by this is a Gerard Way book with Becky Cloonan artwork. I'm really excited for this because they're calling it the California Library Edition. It's a library edition. So
did I freeze or did you freeze? I think you froze.
I may have froze.
Yeah, I think you froze.
Either way, True Lives of Fabulous Killjoys. I'm a big fan of Gerard Way's comic materials, so I'm pretty excited for this one. And it's going to be library edition size.
I've never read that. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's about.
It's pretty different. It's been a few years since I've read it, but it's sort of the Gerard Way anarchy, psychedelic anarchy sort of style. Jesus, why does this keep happening? It's crazy. The next one's a bit of a change of pace. It's probably something you're not going to read, Matt, but Blade of the Immortal Deluxe Edition Volume 1. God damn, I'm excited for this. These deluxe editions seem to be doing really well for Dark Horse with the manga releases. So it should be fun. It's going to be 7x10, which is regular comic size, but for manga that's pretty big. And this is one of those series where it's like probably the most detailed series of manga ever drawn. So it'll be pretty cool to get it in the biggest format it's ever been released in, with the bookmark ribbon.
Ooh, so, now you got me sold.
Faux leather hardcover treatment. I mean,
now you've got me sold.
All right, moving on real quick. The Neil Gaiman Library editions. There's going to be 2 volumes coming out this year. They're supposed to be anyway. Hopefully, we'll get those with the COVID situation. But so they each collect about like 4 or 5 little short stories that Neil Gaiman has written and had someone draw over at Dark Horse Comics. So I'm pretty excited for these. I'm a big fan of Neil Gaiman, as for anyone that follows the channel regularly is aware. And I mean, some ridiculously good artists here that deserve oversized hardcover treatment, like P. Craig Russell, Raphael Albuquerque, Fabian Moon, Gabriel Ba, Mark Buckingham. I'm pretty excited for these. And the fact that they're short stories will make it fun too. It'll be a change of pace, I think, from, the long runs that most of us collect.
Yeah, and the Emerald one, that one's been in hardcover before. A Study in Emerald.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's been released as just like a solo. So
I think a few of these have, yeah. And then the last one for me is Lucifer Omnibus Volume 2. This is finishing up the Sandman Universe Classics series. I mean, what's not to love? It's Lucifer. I'm a psychopath, so I love the devil. But I'm pumped for that, man. It'll be really cool to have that whole series in omni format for sure.
Yep. Nope. I agree with you there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there was anything that I was super stoked about that was coming out this year. Obviously, I was originally super excited for Man of Steel, and then
Right.
they gave us the shaft on that one and is releasing in deluxe, but I'm still picking it up. So I'm still excited for Man of Steel.
So I just want to be clear for folks out there that was my list.
Yeah, that's not all the books that
Yes.
are dropping in 2020.
Yes, of course not. There are things like Excalibur, New Mutants, Uncanny X-Men Volume 4.
So well, I'll touch base on one in a minute. I just one of them mine that I've been super excited about, and I actually went ahead and ordered it today, so I should have it here later this week. Is the Postal Deluxe Edition.
Right.
I pulled the trigger on it. I said, "Here we go." So yeah, I got Postal coming. I love that series so much, so I'm very excited for Postal. That was one of my 2021s. Wolverine has been Wolverine was one that I was the reprint was one I was super excited about. That one has been put on the back burner for now though, because I've bought a lot of customs, a lot of customs. Lots of I what did we say I was I don't remember the word we used. I was setting customs free. I was the
Oh yeah, what were you? Damn it!
I can't remember what you called me, but yeah. So I'm setting the custom books free. I'm releasing them into the wild, into my library from other collectors that are parting with their customs, and I have come across some amazing deals and some amazing books, and I'm very excited. Another one here. Actually, I'll get up and I'll show you guys why I'm not as excited. But one book for a lot of you guys, and one that I was very excited about prior to buying these ones later on in the year, was none other than Moon Knight Volume 1.
That's right. That's right.
Old school Moon Knight, like the original Moon Knight run. This is why I'm not quite as excited about that one.
Yeah, this is exciting because it's I don't even know if we should be showing these on YouTube, but these are pretty damn cool. Coming internationally from the United Kingdom and other places in Europe. This was a European Union sort of book here.
It really kind of was that we come to find out later on. And that is none other, and these are oversized. I will be doing a video on these. The only reason why I haven't yet is because I got tired of doing one-handed reviews. So I finally ordered an overhead camera holder, basically, so I could start doing overhead shots and not break my back trying to do them. And it should be here Tuesday. So fingers crossed. That's why I haven't done an overview on these yet, but so very excited. These are like dream binds for me. We have Moon Knight Volume 1.
So pretty.
Oversized. This is the dust jacket. So you guys are getting a sneak peek at what's to come. This is the cover. Once you take it, does have the flat spine because these are customs. The art was printed off single pages, and these pages are thick. Like, this book is heavy. So these are very thick pages, and
it looks so good.
Yeah, I am so incredibly excited. So you have some amazing stuff there, and then to finish it off, I don't have to wait 2 years like everybody else. Moon Knight Volume 2. So this is going to collect the rest of the Moon Knight run. And these do actually, I compared it to the Epic collections because I had those and I ended up selling the Epics when I got this. And these have the exact, like to the T, the exact same contents as all three Epics. So it's not like missing anything. It has everything. Like, they did a great job mapping this out.
Dope.
So yeah, then here's Volume 2, same kind of design. Obviously, it just says Volume 2 on it. But there's the
so cool, man.
Damn. Yeah, I am very, very excited. So I will be doing an overview on these once I get my camera holder, tripod, whatever you want to call it, mount in place. Once I get that. So Yeah, so Moon Knight is a book that a lot of people are super excited about, and I would be too. I mean, I still am for all those that don't have it. Hellblazer was a huge pickup for me this year. Even if I do Gowtham, even if I do get those binds back, I'm still keeping my Ennis oversized just because it's glorious. It's such a beautiful book. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was coming out later in the year that I was like really, because I mean you named off a lot of stuff already, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else, and I can't.
There's things like the Super Sons extended omnibus.
Yeah, that's a big one. That'll be a big one.
Cool.
But I can't really think of anything else off the
JLI Volume 2. For the folks that got the first one.
I don't know. I got so many customs though. So
it's all about the customs.
Yes, it's all about the custom life. So for customs, I actually just got a couple more. They are on their way being sent to me. So actually it's the same gentleman that I got the West Coast Avengers customs from. He did these other customs and was looking to part with them. And I cross-referenced. It is the exact same material.
Crazy.
As the official Omni releases. And the prices on these was too good to pass up. So I'm actually just got the John Byrne Namor run Omnibus custom. And I also picked up the I don't have to wait for this one. This is another exciting one that people were wanting, and I don't have to wait anymore. I also got the John Byrne She-Hulk Omnibus custom bound, and it is the exact same order, exact same mapping and everything as the official omnibuses. They were bound by Haushin, so I know that they're really good quality. And I picked both of them up. Are you guys ready for this? I picked both of those customs up for $55. I think with shipping and taxes, eBay or not eBay, but PayPal fees, I think it's like $63 total. So $63 total shipped for Namor by Byrne complete and custom, and She-Hulk by Byrne complete and custom.
And that's like part one of the announcements. We've got some more stuff coming in May. I don't think we should give it away now.
You don't want to give away May?
No.
Well, I will just say, I don't know if he subscribed or listens to the show at all, but if Jeffrey is on, sir, we salute you.
Yes, absolutely.
Jeffrey is hooking us up, giving us some amazing deals. Oh yeah,
collections are growing.
Yes, custom bind collections are going to be growing tenfold almost overnight.
It's gonna be great.
So yeah, huge customs in the works. Those will be coming probably. Well, I will have them at my house probably mid-May, I would think.
Yeah.
When Mike has them,
be a while for me.
When Mike has them at his house, who the hell knows? But maybe he'll give me permission to at least just like take a picture to throw it up on Instagram so you guys can see what he will be getting. And then when he finally gets them, he can do his little overviews. But
and I just want everyone to know out there that, at least personally, as a Canadian taxpayer, I am not using any of the free money that the government's giving away to make my own little purchases here. This is my hard-earned cash that I'm spending. Just
same here. This is all my voiceover money that I'm spending.
Just wanted to let the taxpayer know I'm not taking that free incentive COVID money.
The money we got for that actually went back into our house. So we're buying things and fixing things on the house.
You're investing in the future of America because your kids live in that house.
That's very true. Yeah, and my wife and I also agreed that because we live overall in a big city, but like where we're like in a suburb of the bigger city,
right?
And so we wanted to try to keep all of our money local within the suburb, the community that we live in. So everything we try to buy, everything we do, we try to spend within our community. If we have to go outside of our community, we try to at least stay within the same county, because there's like 3 different counties just within our surrounding city.
Right.
So we try to stay at least within the same county. So that way all of our stuff is local spending. We don't try to spend money
nice
elsewhere. So we are trying to give back into our community and spend within the community.
Nice.
Yeah, all of our money has gone straight into our house.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, we replaced some exhaust fans this weekend. That was a pain in the ass. But
all right, well, I don't know if we want to. Let's try flying through some comments here. I got to take off soon.
Yeah, not a problem. There's not a whole bunch. I don't think. I think most of them are pretty much just saying Lucifer on this
Yeah.
656. It's not my list. Woo! He went postal and pulled the trigger. I did. West Coast Avengers customs were cool. Oh, dude, they're about to get 10 times cooler. Wait until Mike gets done with these dust jackets. I still haven't even got to see them all yet. I've seen like mock-ups of the spine and like I think volume 2 or something. Like I haven't even got to see them all yet. So
it's been a lot.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Fun.
My most anticipated is Animal Man Deluxe Volume 2. I can finally read it.
Yes.
The Moon Knight custom bind looks amazing. They are, unfortunately, one of the volumes did take some dings in travel. But I mean, they traveled from UK to here in the matter of 5 days.
Through Germany. So
yeah, let's just say like the customs and stuff wasn't very nice to them. Jaw drops. Saw these on Insta. Sweet, dude. Congrats. Thank you. I'm very, very excited. There's a lot of voiceover money went into that. So it was a lot. I need to. Luckily, I made some of it back when I sold my epics, so that made me feel a little bit better about the purchase because it was not cheap. But when I sold the epics, I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better about this. They look great. Not trying to jinx it, but how many of these DC Omnis are going to really be Omnis? I mean, look what happened. Yeah, it's happened to Jonah Hex. It happened to Man of Steel.
Might happen to Green Arrow by Mike Grell. Who knows?
Yeah, who the hell knows ultimately what's going to happen, especially with the industry the way that it is now. Who really knows what's going to happen? Like, it's so up in the air right now.
Yeah.
How did they manage an oversized custom with thick paper from deluxes? No.
Custom printed, my friend.
Yeah, no, these were scan pages that were then physically printed out. Yeah. So as Mike was saying, it's sort of a secret group. Apparently they're not together anymore. They no longer do anything. They haven't done anything for a couple of years, apparently. But it was a network, I should say, of people that all lived in different areas overseas, and they would work together to make these wonderful oversized books happen. They're pretty popular in like overseas in the UK and stuff. I've actually seen more and more of these. Like I just saw a Matt Fraction Punisher one the other day, and I was like, oh, luckily somebody else took it before I could. So I was like, okay, good. I don't need to spend more money. But no, so there's a lot of these actually floating around out there in the world. And I just happened to come across these Moon Knight ones through a custom bind Facebook group. And I said, sir, I am all over those. So the creator-centric Hellblazer omnibus route is annoying. I'd prefer just chronological. Yeah, I can see that. But they're going with what sells, and let's be honest, Ennis Hellblazer is going to sell like no other. So,
oh yeah.
All about the customs. Yes, sir. Big for customs. Networking on Instagram. Hard to find them on eBay. I found some really great deals on eBay before. Another great deal where I get them at is honestly the Omnibus Facebook group. There's one called the Unbound Collection, and it's just a bunch of custom binders that do stuff, and we talk and sell and buy, sell, trade, etc. So that's another good one. And then obviously I don't do my own, but like I send in my own to binderies to get bound on that as well. So I have a variety of ways of getting them. Reddit's also a comic swap is another good way. Every once in a blue moon, you might find some good ones there. Sometimes just reaching out to people. Like my New Gods one, I got directly from Heroes Rebound. They had like a library of books that they were trying to part with, and I kind of flipped through them, and I love that New Gods one. So that's how I got the New Gods.
Which oddly enough is getting a trade paperback volume 1 now.
Yes, all because I told Mike, I go DC editorial or whatever publishers, they saw the New Gods custom bound video and they said, oh, THC has it in custom. Let's make it a reality for other people. And so now it's being released in complete collections.
We are leading the future.
I can't help but buy everything by Byrne. Dude, I'm with you, man. I love John Byrne so much. Toronto and Niagara was my last trip before COVID. Now my trips are to the fridge.
It's like I tell people on every conference call, I am just keeping the seat warm now at this point. That's all it is at home.
No free money from Trudeau for me. I have to sell off my Kirby FF to pay for my omnibus.
Damn Trudeau with his fancy new facial hair.
I'm assuming you two recommend West Coast Avengers. From what I haven't read the whole series yet, so I'm really excited to get those custom binds because I picked them up for an unbelievable price. I think it was like $20 a volume or something. It's ridiculous. But from what I have read, yes, it's a lot of fun, especially if you really like that, 1980s superhero books, and it has a lot of drama. It's like a soap opera in comic book form. I mean, that's really the easiest way to put it. There's a lot of drama, there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of everything.
It's kind of got, it's got all these B-list heroes, right? I mean,
yep.
It's so from what I saw flipping through issues, volume 2 looks like it gets very dark and very depressing. As someone puts a gun up to their head, and volume 3 is really cool because like I'm seeing things that I saw in Tom King's Vision run, in terms of like, I guess the Vision gets a new body and a new memory, and he turns into this white version of himself where his, instead of being the red and green typical color that we see the Vision in, he's all white. And so as I was flipping through it looking for artwork for the Dust Jacket, I was like, this is so cool because I know Tom King has referenced some of the panels in these issues for his Vision run. So that's really cool to see.
Yep. Let's see. What do we have next here? I'm selling tons of comics to get these new books. I can't wait. Are you following Michael Turner's Kickstarter? I am not. What is the Kickstarter? I guess. Well, I mean, I know who Michael Turner is, but I'm not familiar with the Kickstarter.
I thought Michael Turner had passed away.
Did he?
Are they printing some sort of new fancy artist edition version of a book? Yeah, he passed away about 12 years ago.
Let me look it up real quick. Michael Turner Kickstarter. Michael Turner Creations hardcover.
There you go.
By Aspen Comics.
That makes sense. Yep.
Holy shit. They needed 65,000 and they've gotten 218,000.
Ooh, damn. People love Michael Turner. His artwork is amazing.
And it's just all over there. I wonder where the money goes though. Does it say like where it goes? We wanted to give on his birthday and all of his creations. We're giving a physical in celebration. We're giving every physical pledge $1 million. Oh, it's like a fake $1 million bill.
Maybe they're just funding the.
But they needed 65,000 and they've made 218,000. So like, where's that extra $150,000 going?
Someone's pocket,
right?
Huh? It's going to Michelle Turner, who happened to come up with this great scam.
It's gonna be late for me. Thank you guys for the live stream. Another great one. Looking forward to the book club. Yes,
it's getting late for me too, dude.
They have a Michael Turner art collection on Kickstarter. That brings the question: are you following the Spawn figure? I was. I've actually slowly been debating on whether or not if I want to. Dude, it looks so fucking incredible.
Really,
I'm debating on whether or not to participate. I'm not sure yet.
Are we gonna get into that gem mint area of the?
No, these are just like these aren't statues. These are action figures, so they're not nearly as expensive. They're like $30 for one or $90 for all three or something. I don't remember, but they're pretty cool. Yeah, it's a collection of some of his work. This was fun. Thanks. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys. Very much.
If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. Please,
and Patreon. How could we forget to talk about Patreon? So last but not least, for those of you guys that are Patreon subscribers, or if you want to become a Patreon subscriber, as little as $1 a month is going to get you an entry into our giveaway that we do every single month. So any money we make on Patreon goes right back to you guys. We do not keep a dime of it. As a matter of fact, we lost money this month on this. So we'll go out, we'll buy the book. We'll review the book on the channel, which is what I did with Harleen this month. Then we do a drawing. For every $1 you donate, you get an entry into the drawing, and then we raffle it off, and you get the book. So this month, Austin Caldwell, Surf and Skate, got the book, which is why he was saying thanks for Harleen earlier. So he has the book for that. Coming up here, you guys have a couple days left. If you guys want to join in for our next drawing that we're doing in early May, you guys have a few days left to hit us up in April. Like I said, it's as little as $1. So just go to patreon.com/the hardcover comic. And we're going to be doing, the more money we make, the more giveaways and bigger giveaways and things like that we can do. So that's why we're looking forward to it.
And for our current patrons, we're going to have voting very soon. The next few days, I think we'll have voting for the next month.
Correct.
I'm thinking we're going to go with an Image Deluxe theme for April. Yes. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we have a few more dollars in April than we did in March, so we can go a little bit bigger. But like I said, the more money that people donate, the more that people want to join in on our Patreon, the bigger books we can get. So our goal is to be able to do omnis and stuff here pretty soon too. So patreon.com/the hardcover comic. But other than that, just real quick, can you see if you can get a coupon for IST? I think the Omni Bros have that one covered. I don't think they'll give us one, but I mean, sure, we can try. In light of Alien Day, what is your favorite Alien content? Comics, movies, novels, video games, etc. By the way, Alien Isolation is only $2 on Steam.
That's a really good deal. That's a full video game for $2. State-of-the-art video game. So
I like the movies. That's my preferred.
Yeah, my dad bought the Alien versus Predator box set, which has like every Alien and Predator, anything related to those two IPs. So it's like 15, 16 movies. It's amazing.
Nice. Thank you guys. This was really fun.
Likewise.
Made it back. You guys have been going on for a while. We're ending now. Have a great night. Fun live. Good night from Atlanta, Georgia. Hit that like button. Yes. Thank you for all the new faces and stuff that we saw too. You guys have all been great. Please.
And Coco Cokes, good luck in Georgia, because y'all are opening everything up back on Monday, right? All the restaurants and stuff.
Omaha's opening back up May 4th.
Ooh, damn. All right, well, good luck with that national experiment you guys have going.
Thanks, we appreciate it. All right, everybody. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Cheers, everyone.